Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Stage 2 finals here for the Octane Collegiate League. Guys, it has been a journey. We have had one heck of a spring semester. Some of the most collegiate Apex we have ever gotten the opportunity to see, not just myself, but for every single one of these players. And the highest league, the height of heights, comes to a close today. Now, granted, this is Stage 2 finals. There is going to be an LCQ. There is going to be a grand championship in Cincinnati, Ohio. But this is the peak that we only get so many opportunities to see every single year. I want to congratulate the 20 teams that have had the opportunity to make it this far. 120 teams entered the Octane Collegiate League. They form both the Open, Contenders, and Premier League. And after several months of weekly play, scrims, and just a hell of a lot of Apex Legends, they finally have reached the end. Now, granted, this is match point. We've got a 60-point match point series. Welcome, Kindly Monkey. Welcome, Enlighten. Welcome, Jonkler. Welcome, everybody else, as you guys roll in. I'll tell you what. There's probably not a single other format that gets me more amped. Server's already starting over here on my side, so that means we've got less than 5 minutes here. So, let's take care of business. Right off of the bat, let's start a prediction. Over, under. And let's do a high one. 8.0 match quality. I want to start it off with the bang. You guys love them. You guys got 5 minutes on the dime. Get that in while you have a chance. Furthermore, let's go to our scoreboard because that's going to be the difference maker for who's participating today and where they're starting. Remember, it is all 4 maps. We're going 1, 1, 1, 1 every single time. We will be changing from map to map here. Fisher Esports, Calgary, they represent as the top 2 seeds coming out of semifinals, followed up by KSU Black and Southern Miskey, Cumberland University and UCSD, Bellevue University and Western Outlaws, MNSU and Sac State Esports, Temple Cherry, RIT, Tamoon, St. Clair Saints, Ottawa and Purdue, Iowa State and UCF and Ferris State Crimson and UT Tyler. These are the 20 teams that will enter the match point finals, the majority representing from the Premier League directly. Now remember, this is going to be a 4-game minimum. All right? You know what time it is, Everett? What? Also, Corey, I can't read that message. I'm getting paid today not to. Let's get you hyped real quick. I don't even know what we're getting hyped about. I'm already hyped. It's finals time. Also, Locke is a fat. Thank you so much. Hey, Atmo, a 75 stream streak. Wow. You have been here all year. All of December as well. I took a break. Oh! 2, 3, 5 gifted. You know, it's great. I'm still set up from yesterday. I've got the red marker ready to go. Let's get him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Funny enough, a couple of those folks in there that just received those subs are collegiate players. Half from SJSU, Toxic from Abilene Christian University. And of course, more than that, a thank you to you 2-3. All right. Now our games are going to be starting here in a second. Of course, we will be on World's Edge for the first match of the day. Let me do a little quick confirmation on the info. I believe it is 1-1-1-1. Did not specify exactly how we're going to be rotating them. Well, either way, World's Edge on the E District for WED, and then Storm Point on to Olympus for Spoint. Spoint into Spus? I don't know. No combo there. WED Spus. Teams like Fisher are completely... Bros Winton, it's in the announcements? Is it? Oh, it starts on World's Edge. Okay, so we just reoriented. So it's not Snake Draft. So it will be WED into Spus, and then it's WED into Spus, WED into Spus, WED into Spus. Okay? There you go. Thank you so much, 2-3. I love you too. I love everybody who's going to be around here today. And more importantly, because I love you guys so much, I will be announcing it throughout the stream. Every single time we have a 25-point game, I will be doing a $10 giveaway. That's right. Every single time one of our teams walks away with a dub, that is going to be, or a 25-point dub, or 24. I changed it to 24. Every single time one of our teams walks away with a 24-point dub, we'll be doing a $10 Apex giveaway. So stick around, root for a squad, and pray potentially a team like Fisher is able to find it. Good morning, OY. What does a school get if they win? Well, prizing is officially online today. First place will be walking away with $575 for their team with $500 worth of scuff gear, $450 in second, $325 for third, $250 for fourth, and $150 for fifth place. A fourth of these teams will be finding some chunk of prizing and a little bit of money for dinner tonight. Now, we're about to jump into game here. Fisher, they're up in West Skyhook. Nobody decided to draft near them. The closest teams, St. Clair, UT Tyler. Hopefully, they are on a quick rotate because right now, that is a team that likes to get off on an early start. Kennesaw Black, I won't expect to see them fighting very much. They're quicker than anybody else into getting into zone. Southern Mississippi Esports, we're all big Southern Miss fans today. They are a team that needs to compete in the PSQs, so their time is limited. I don't know if that accelerates the way they play out these games or if it just might not be a Southern Miss option. Of course, there's a couple other teams nearby. Iowa State, Sac State, UCF Knights. A couple of those squads can put up a good 3v3 fight there. A little bit weaker on the central middle here between TAMU, Purdue, Western, RIT, and Temple. Down below, though, is where we see three of our big pinnacle rosters. Cumberland University, winners of ECAC's winners of College Apex's initial match point this semester. Bellevue, proven roster, but long-time failure in the collegiate scene, has yet to find their way to a match point dub outside of the Proton finals at the very beginning of fall. And the Ottawa Pioneers are stage 1 match point finalists. Now, I personally think they've been looking a little rough here, but only time will tell. Shout out to Octane today, giving us the permission to cover once again and watch party our favorite chunk of Apex Legends. We're hopping into game 1 here on World's Edge, and the majority of our teams are going to be playing that Caustic Altar and a little bit of the Crypto Dash. And of course, we'll be taking a look at those comps as they continue to evolve today. But hey, play time. I've been paying attention to Octane lately as Fisher's been running things down, or is it competitive? Partisi, this is as competitive as it gets, man. Today especially. Yes, Fisher has been known to run it down, but you gotta remember, in Octane, they changed the format this semester to have 2 separate lobbies in Premier League. Groups were removed. Zona, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Consider sticking around. We've got giveaways every single time a team hits 24 points. I will say, it did make it a lot better quality because teams were relegated during the season rather than in playoffs, right? So having 2 separate lobbies, upper and lower in Premier League, already made it so that Fisher wasn't a guaranteed finalist every single week, where sometimes in previous seasons, we'd have 1 or 2 good teams just kind of get an extra early running start every step of the way here. So, we'll see how they perform today. Of course, they are the team that picks up the points the most. Zona, I'll give you a little wave. I can't quite do it as nice as you. Matthew, Purdue is in this lobby, and we'll see how they fare. Overlook is where they find their start, but it is not going to be where they find their home. It's time to move to the south if it means survivability for them. We have got a deep pull all the way towards the edge of Thermal into Mirage Etoile staging. This one will fall for Southern Mississippi, though. They are not a team that is looking to reach 60 points slow. Group T, I cannot believe I am saying this. Iowa State's Group T is the very first person eliminated from competition here. Who else but Group T? Now, Sac State and these other rosters, they are not far away from some of these shots. Kamal isn't awake. That's right. We've got a classic ISU start. Kamal died first, bro. I'm already seeing not Koryu in Group T in my chat, which already tells me exactly what's going to happen here in less than 5 minutes. That being said, that is a little bit of a warning. Please, if you are a competitor, do not share information here as we go through the matches. We are on a 5-minute delay for competitive integrity's sake, and more importantly, for the entertainment of the broadcast. Shh. I already know ISU's going to struggle a little bit here, guys, but let us see if he can fight. Let them have some hope. I waited till I died. Okay, but you're still you that makes sense. Not Koryu though. We need to, you know. Granted, I would prefer if it wasn't until the full roster wipe. All right, personal opinion, that's all. Couple other squads taking their time. Ferris State Crimson, at least right now, one of the slowest for us in terms of setting up early. Bellevue, right alongside them, is already utilizing the altar port to, prioritize their rotation more than anything. Couple of small shots from Pure, and realistically, I don't think we're going to be seeing Bellevue knocked out here. Honestly, I don't think we're going to see many teams knocked out early. The first game of the day on Match Point is usually the highest quality. That's why I put it 8.0. Currently watching on a highway in Wyoming. Don't say I'm not passionate. Well, I'll do my best to describe what's happening, small guy, because please keep your eyes on the road. Right now, we're inside a truck just outside a climatizer. You know the one right there. Sac State's got their first start against ISU, and with it just being not Koryu left alone, that will be the first team eliminated. Yes, Iowa State is going to be a duo here, and the only thing we can pray for is Kamal to return to the competition as time goes on. It's such a shame, too. Guys, Kamal's been looking genuinely legit. Or Kayak. Kayak would be huge, too. Little sub on sub action here. Not Koryu's currently on a 20-stream streak. We're catching back up. I will say Atmo just hit a 75 today. You missed out on that one. You know, when there's $1,000 on the line, I would hope teams would wake up. Plenty of them, though, I will say, have woken up and found their way to zone here. Fisher, Southern Miss, TAMU, Sac State, Ottawa, Bellevue. Couple of huge names there. I won't say TAMU's a big name, but a couple of those other big names in our top 6 teams performing are already still a little bit late. What's up, Bobby Dang? You're my big dog. Welcome back. First game of finals. That's right, Ace. Welcome to the Match Point finals here. Now, Ferris State Crimson, they got their own fight on the edge of zone. This could be that Bellevue wrap, but for now, it's going to be Pure almost caught out. Yes, it is the Bruins, and they have arrived. A full beam onto Turbo, and Ferris State Crimson was the team in my premier tier list last night that I ranked in 20th overall. I would be not surprised to see how it goes. Sunseeker, I'd let you join for Iowa, but personally, there's rules. There's rules in place, albeit it would be better than the corpse of Kamal. Well, shout out to Ferris State Crimson. They've actually made quite a quick rotation to leave Turbo out to dry here. It's got to be a little bit quicker than that. It is a pull towards Mirage, and with most teams rotating towards the zone, there's a chance we could get that banner recovery and tree and then take your time south side of Thermal and get a slow walk in. For teams like Purdue, they're still out towards Lava Siphon, and for Texas A&M and Sac State, we could potentially see them fight on the edge of Monument. Fisher Esports, though, this is a team that excels at chasing the edge of zone. Future Stream, Sloshy Medusa, Bass Liath. That tells me there is a fight between Sac State on the edge, and Cumberland is holding out UFC here in the center of zone. Cumberland with a couple of peeks inside the truck line, and with one last, the FaZe will actually get the knock here. Future Streams will go down. And Slasher and Syken, as a duo, have to be careful here. Now, granted, 2v1, they should be able to finish off the UCF Knights, but Western Outlaws, with their own peak, has to pay their respects. You've got Ottawa already in the action with the drop on the Lock Sanity, and EMP, there they go, into the house, and hopefully for some tea time. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Yeah, that's not it. Yeah, I wouldn't be... Oh, the port steal! Okay, Cloak is activated. Whatever happened yesterday was a fluke. This man looks like a real Apex Legends player. Sadly for Ferris. I mean, didn't get the chance. Didn't get the chance to run as well as they could. Didn't even get the ban recovery. Ferris is a solo dolo down south here. University of Tyler, Fisher on the outside. I swear we were just looking at them from the evacs outside of landslide. Wouldn't look to be UT Tyler here. This is not a UT Tyler setup, and it's already Zard low. A peek around the corner with an Arc Star plate on the door there. It's enough to slow, but Topher and Jockler flashing with one last beam. Fisher Esports capitalize on being on the edge. Sunseeker, that guy was none other than Ottawa's finest, Cloaked. Remember, Ottawa was the team to win stage one, and not Koryu. You are right. Ottawa did not look good yesterday. They were a top 6-7 team at max. Granted, they did not have Logan Reap, so being down one member could have definitely held them back a little bit. For Purdue Black, this is a favor towards our friend Matthew Moose, a man who loves this roster. Only problem is Southern Mississippi have heard the shots, and they're right behind them. Purdue with a knock there as Sloshy Medusa is able to find the first one. Southern Mississippi, they don't even have to push this too hard. They've got the height support in. One final big burn on the edge of the shield. And granted, it's a chunk of ammo, but it should be a full thirst on the other side. Solaria Lunaris, by the way, had to finish casting that, but thank you again. A new friend to the family of Texas A&M, and honestly, probably my biggest bettor. Hopefully you got your prediction in early this morning. It's a pleasure to see you. Group T is in chat. Lock in. Hey, he's missing Kamal. Kamal just woke up. So ISU first team eliminated here. University of Calgary, they'll join that one with UCSD finding the wipe against them. I'll tell you what. Am I surprised that these teams are absolutely throttling each other? No. Would I have hoped they would slow down just a little bit? Yeah. 16 squads remaining, the zone closing in. It is game one, PD first. UC San Diego, they're going to face one final snipe from Bellevue, and that is a cleanup to their initial knocks there. Surprisingly, Fair State Crimson has actually survived into the top of placement. We'll pop back on over to Southern Mississippi, taking their time on the edge of staging. Ottawa Pioneers, we saw the drop from Viz onto one, but they were able to reset inside the building. For now, out to the edge of zone, Texas A&M, Sac State, and yes, Fisher Esports still looking to play their edge game. You should turn off ads. Sadly, 2-3, it is of my objective to make money, and it's a natural consequence of being a Twitch streamer. Asking me to turn off ads would sacrifice about 1/6 of my income. Fisher Esports, there's little of a sacrifice here. And I'll be honest with you, a quick crack on the evac. Arc's going to get shot down, and that is the primary fragger of Texas A&M, already out of the picture. Now, the question is, know you, where will they remain? A solo rat on the edge of zone. Surprisingly, Fisher is not one to find Tamu for now and have turned their attention over towards what I can only assume is Sac State. Yeah, Sac State Esports playing that high ground. They do have that altar port all the way out towards Fisher, so potential revive is no problem. Dom's got to be hitting those. Hello? Hey, it's a high evac, okay? Straight up and down. Usually I would say Dom's got those. It's match point. It's finals. There's a different pressure. It's also 11 a.m. You know that man was up until 4 a.m. doing God knows what. He has just gotten back into the action. He's warming. All right? Now, Bellevue caught out by Zach W. Keys. There you go, Sunseeker. There's the man you recognize. University of Southern Mississippi. A knock of one in Vod and Juxi. At least they are the primary duo here. Problem is, Dallas is already peaking with future streams finding a knock on a Zach W. Keys. That tells me Cumberland is not far away. Dallas, he's going to have to stick for a full fight here in the building as Zach W. Keys is on the revive outside of the equation. It is up to none other than Voddery. We'll see how it goes. Little teleports, but realistically, with the rest of Southern Mississippi already showing up here, I mean, job's done. Full thirst, little beam around the back. I mean, Viz and Zach, they've got it all the way up there. I'm surprised VOD lasted for that long. Now, granted, zone is closing here. It is around 3, and we talked about Cumberland already being in the position to capitalize. There's the G7 Scout Knox from Future Streams, and my man is a solo. He is single-handedly threatening USM's survivability here. Dallas is the last remaining member, and it's Pure from Ferris State Crimson as a rat. There's the evac tower, and you have to question if Pure can finish the job. He does it! Ferris State Crimson will die, but Pure as a rat single-handedly ends USM after a catch from Future Streams from Cumberland here. He got the KP. He got the KP. Welcome to Collegiate Apex. Today is the Stage 2 Finals, the top 20 teams in all of college. Now, granted, we're heading towards Mirage Etoile, and realistically, we haven't been watching who's here. Kennesaw Black, St. Clair, Temple, UCF, RIT. These are the teams that call this zone home here. Now, granted, we got a lot of that south side height in. Teams like the Minnesota State Mavericks, they're going to have their pick of the litter if this continues to pull over towards the south. If it works its way over towards the eastern side, they still have a really nice choice. A lot of teams like UCF Knights and RIT, it's going to be very, very hard for them to get out of those buildings. Ottawa, Cumberland, these are a couple of the rosters that are still taking their time on the edge of zone. College Esports, or College Apex, has only been around for these last few years. It didn't start with Apex right off of the bat. Is Swivel playing today? No. Temple Cherry, a defense of their height. Remember, sitting in top of the Mirage Etoile makes them a target. With only blue to their name, they have already dropped gold in here with a full thirst against Fisher Esports. That's a huge member of that Fisher roster picked apart. And granted, they do have the altar for the banner recovery, but they do need the time to set themselves back up. Speaking of a team that's got themselves set back up, Texas A&M, ARC, Know You, Grap, back in play. Are reigning champs in this game? Yes, they are. Ottawa Esports is here as a reigning champ. And for Texas A&M, they're starting to look like a champion. We saw their failure against Fisher, and now they're here to pay revenge. A full burn against Dom 2 cracked, and that means it is just Slothula's. Charge Spitfire? Rigatoni, you clearly do not know Texas A&M. Couple of long-range shots, though, from Sac State. And we'll see a couple of big names fall out of the lobby here on the close. Texas A&M, no better for themselves. Know You, the last remaining member, again here for the TAMU roster, trying to fight for the top 10, as we already just saw our Stage 1 team eliminated. That was the Ottawa Pioneers, which, by the way, only recently, about a month ago, combined with the KCP Pioneers to find a duo roster. Texas A&M, a little light revive, and St. Clair Saints are more than happy to come out on the exit. Rusty G, single-handedly, no problem for a cleanup there. Texas A&M look like insects. Sac State, Cumberland, Purdue, UCF Knights, RIT, still sitting on that outskirt there. These buildings, you got to settle the fights before they pop up behind you, because in just a few seconds, it's time to rotate. Is Iowa in this? Miles, Iowa State is a participating team. They're not too terrible, albeit their teammate slept in today. $5,000 finals, slept in. It's LCTTV. Thank you so much for the follow, my main man. All right, couple of big range shots here. Rusty G, he's been a fryer and a fragger for the St. Clair Saints. He puts them into the pan, and he makes them crisp up like a dinner. Still, I should shut up because, oh, it's Slothulous. All right, that makes more sense. I was about to say, there's not many people who can actually beat Rusty G in the one-on-one, and Slothulous from Fisher Esports, he's definitely of that caliber. Couple of teams here forced to move on in. Temple, St. Clair, they've already got a position in zone. Remember, the Mirage Etoile is still in play, albeit only lightly. Shout out Slothula, he's going for a craft, and instead, it's Cumberland University that'll wipe out Fisher. I have a hair in my mouth. All right, we're good. Now, most teams, I can't imagine they're going to be able to play this for long. Kennesaw State Black, They've got a little rotation, couple of drops on the outside. Sac State, as minute they step up is the minute that they die. We talked about UCF Knights being stuck in their building. They never really were able to rotate out confidently. 7 squads remaining. Temple up above, St. Clair down below. Purdue Black on the edge, and just as they fall, Cumberland is waiting with open arms to deliver them unto their end. Kansas does, in fact, have a team. Sam Buff Baby King, thank you for the follow. Purdue, the Boilermakers, will be shot out here. RIT is still alive. Jack and Parsnips may be at least out of the picture, but taking their time from high ground, they are not in the worst of places. In fact, a team that has been so dominant might begin to face their end. Cumberland University, a stick of the gas. They've already faced much of their acclaim, and the only reason they're not going out is that Temple Cherry cannot peek from this height with Minnesota watching them from the other side. That being said, though, Minnesota can deliver a final blow where they see fit. St. Clair Saints, a final snipe from a Bezzy TV, and not Rowan will be removed. I can't imagine Cumberland survives this. It's a struggle bus on every point. A couple of snipes from underneath the truck. Another one there. A teleport up to the Mirage Etoile height. And there's no way you will survive this, especially with Temple out and waiting. St. Clair, though, just as quickly as they arrive is just as quickly as they pull themselves back into their building. With the round one closing, Future Streams decides it's too late and too little to play. Temple Cherry forces Cumberland down from their high ground. Now, we talk a lot about Temple. We talk about Cumberland and SCC, but Minnesota up above has the best position right now. They are lying in wait. Finally, a drop from Temple. St. Clair in their building. A port from Rusty G, and it's the full investment there. He takes a trade of 75, and Temple Cherry are forced underneath to the gutters like the rats they are. St. Clair, they'll pop what they can while they can. A couple of beams on the edge, and the Giggler will go down. Temple Cherry eliminated from the outside. 4 squads remaining. Kennesaw on one end, Cumberland on the other. St. Clair out from their building, and from up on high, Minnesota bide their time. Cumberland is sniped out, and Minnesota, look at how good this is for them. There is literally no failure upon their shirts. It'll be a Mavericks dub here for game 1. There's literally no way to lose from that position. Minnesota push RIT, they push UCF, they get rid of their competition, and they take our first win of the day here. Now we got to make a move because the games are already starting. Cheeto Bug, thank you for the follow. Let's take a look at our scoreboard because remember, folks, if it's 24 points or higher, you guys get a giveaway. Here we go. Standings on the refresh. Oh! So close. Minnesota State Mavericks, all they needed was one more KP, and we would have done a giveaway. Congratulations to them on the dub. I ask you guys for the over-under on the quality score, and the line is tight. 8.15. Congratulations. That is a guaranteed over. There you guys go. A delivery on your points there. Cumberland University, they survive on that low ground. And look at that. 10 KP for a 15-point finish, 14 for KSU Black, and 13 for the St. Clair Saints. Remember, match point format. If it's your first time seeing it, these teams need to reach 60 points. Once they reach 60 points, they become match point eligible. They will have to then win a game while they are on 60 points. It is a 4-game minimum, but realistically at 60 points, I don't think that matters. Minnesota just picked up the first dub of the day, and that tells me we're probably going the distance. Do people bet on this? Yes. All right. Our next one on the board. Let's take the Mavericks. Let's look at the KP. You guys know I love a little KP bet here. Over, under. Let's put it 5.5. MNSU. Here you guys go. Get it in while you have a chance. 2 minutes on the board to get that bet in. 5.5 feels very low, but it does require Minnesota putting just as much. Sunseeker, if you do want to bet, right above. Granted, it is not real money. All right, well, that's not the type of thing we're betting with. Alter will be banned into this next game, and that is really to no surprise. The safety of that ultimate, it has to go. The teams with the portal play, the reappropriation of height every single step of the way, the Alter's got to go. Okay, it is a toxic entity, whether it be ranked, whether it be regular Apex, the Alta's gotta go. Barry, thank you so much for the follow. And let's pop back in. Second game of the day. Remember, we move on. We are now over to E District. Teams like Bellevue, they're in Blossom with Calgary. Southern Miss has got Purdue and ISU looking for the recovery up in Resort. Texas A&M and Lotus. Minnesota are winners in Heights. Cumberland, Fisher, UT Tyler, out towards Humbert, Old Town, and Stadium. Every single game, we get a different map here. And E District will be the one that represents. By the way, if it's your first time watching College Apex, what a shame. You missed an incredible season. We do still have the grand finals coming up here in about a month. It'll be hosted in Ohio, Cincinnati. That'll be a live competition. Additionally, we've got other collegiate leagues as well. If you're interested in staying up to date with that action, consider a follow here, consider a follow there, consider a follow anywhere. Robzilla, Tech Duster. Those are the type of names I like to see. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. We've got about 30 or so seconds here until we get into the next game. Taking a look. For those that don't understand how I can tell, I am currently on a 5-minute delay. The games have already happened, and for the sake of competitive integrity, I'm sitting here biding my time. Come on, USM. Hey, it's good practice. University of Southern Mississippi. Get this, guys. Did you know University of Southern Mississippi is the second highest team in the overall standings for the PSQs right now? University of Southern Mississippi is very likely to join Pro League after today. As long as USM make it to finals, heck, if they make it high into semifinals, it is very likely we will see them. Third? I don't believe they're third. I think the Battlefly didn't remove 5-star from the first place point position. That's why they're third currently. Anyways, I'm not kidding you guys, we might see the very first team in Pro League from Collegiate. Representing too. They will literally represent with USM. Is Revival above them? Yeah, Madness is above them. What happened to the University of Utah? University of Utah played with an ineligible player yesterday. A little bit of a muddied situation there, but in the end, it is against the rules, so they were removed from finals, and the University of Texas Tyler took their place, Zakatar. Great roster, fantastic team, showcase that they have the potential to be land champions, but it's just the way it goes. Mario Zavala, thank you so much for the follow. Let's hop on to E District here. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Revival is above them, PD first. And we'll see. I thought they weren't shifting UTT in. Honestly, I'd be shocked if they didn't. Hey, Sunny Bun! That's my main man. That's Sunseeker. Sunny Bun. I think so. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Joining us for the first time. Let's see if Zest Mystery Man is here. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it's me. There you go. There you go. All right. Hey, thank you. The conversion's always good, but we'll see how these teams convert here. No more altar in play. We'll see how it goes. The infraction said they weren't putting anyone else in. Oh, looking at this. Quick little check on the infractions. It has to do with semifinal standings, not replacements. Different. Hey, Sunphobia, welcome back to the stream. You're joining us for Game 2. Yeah, it has to do with land points, not so much playing in finals. Who was the illegal player? It was someone from the Utah Summit roster, so it was another premier eligible team that ended up submitting. It's the other Utah, and they happened to switch in the player. They didn't realize they couldn't do that. It changed for playoffs. It's as simple as it gets. Well, first game on E-District and potentially the last, depending on how these teams show up. Granted, a heavy start for Minnesota State Mavericks is always the pace of play you like to see. For Fisher Esports, this is a team that does not slow down. There has never not been a time this team has not sent Humbert. They get into Humbert, they rev up their engines, and they're just as quickly down to Old Town here. Now for UT Tyler, this is not a dumb roster. Jonkler, Zard, Topher, these guys know that. They know Fisher's gonna hunt you down every step of the way, but it still doesn't change the fact that you took too long. Jonkler, Topher removed, just Zard on the interior, a beam from the window, and Slothulus will pick up all 3 pieces of that KP. It's the Fisher start. It is simply how Fisher divide E-District. Now they get all of Humbert, now they get all of Old Town, and I'll tell you what, it is very likely that they aren't going to stick around for long. They're going to keep rotating out there towards the west and try to follow up behind teams like Sac State, the Pioneers, and SCC. Honestly, if you guys want that giveaway, there's a team that's definitely got the capacity to hit 24 points. Fisher Esports is the most feast or famine roster in Collegiate Apex Legends. Zephyr, how do you think a pro team would fare in this finals lobby? They would destroy. They would absolutely slaughter a good chunk of these teams. Can you tell Wyoming to get better mobile data? I'm watching in 144p right now. I will do my best. I will speak to the wonderful state of Wyoming, and we'll get that settled out. We'll check back in with Dom 2 Cracked, because realistically, Fisher Esports ain't the type of team to slow. Like I said, already on to Sac State here, and Bass Lyeth and Bofer are quickly on the headaway towards the draft point area. Granted, Fisher just as quickly. A knock on to Bass Lyeth, and once again, Bofer, the final remaining member. Texas A&M, by the way, we didn't really get to see it, but they were sent upon in Lotus. UCSD already wiped. When do we get more details about the in-person finals? The in-person finals will be hosted in Ohio, Cincinnati. It will be hosted at the University of blah, blah, blah. It is something that they have announced in the announcements of Octane. Let me see. It is May... Where is it? Where is it? It is in Queen City, the Queen City Championship at the University of Cincinnati's Esports Innovation Lab, May 2nd through 3rd. There you go, my cabbage. If you want more information, please contact @Owysicle or join the Octane server, discord.gg/collegeapex. Don't do !Discord, that'll take a minute. How do you go watch? That sounds awesome. I am not, I'll say this right now, I'm just a caster. I do not work with Octane directly. I love to cover their action, but I do not handle their administration or those decisions. Purdue Black, great spot. We're all happy here. Give it time. It is Lotus, Hapika. Remember, transitioning down from the high ground into Lotus is a bit difficult. Especially if you're on that north side and you're not on high ground like they are. Transitioning in Lotus in general is difficult. It is a very stacked POI. You got multiple teams across all of these buildings, and it does genuinely come down to that very final zone. If USM goes pro, do you think they'll drop classes? No, they go to USM to play Apex. They're scholarship players at USM to play Apex Legends. That's why they're at USM. Also, Pro League's on the weekends. Anyways, UCSD Gold looks like they lost of 1 here in the Lotus. Their start against Tamu was good, but realistically, ain't not much more to say there. These guys probably like 2 courses dismissed, so they play Apex all day. They are genuine students. Thalys is there, actually on campus, etc. And so, it's not that simple, but they're good. They're good guys. They work hard. Bellevue University, a team that needs to work a hell of a lot harder, currently outside of the Lotus. They are one of the few teams to not rotate very quickly into zone. The same to be said for the Ottawa Pioneers, our former winners of Stage 1. What's the skill gap between college and pro? There are a couple players here in college that have been in Pro League before, but the majority are not. I would say if a pro plays 12 hours, 18 hours a day, a college player picks up the game 2 or 3 times a week for a couple of scrim sessions. That's about it. they maybe peak Masters on average for the best teams. So, and also, all the super teams, it depends, right? There are a couple teams in college who are just gold chuds. They're platinum chuds. It varies, all right? Future's Depth playing pro. Yeah, Future Streams is a pro league player. He finished 11th in Split 2 of the ALGS Americas Pro League. There's a lot of teams on here. D-Gap. They have Golden, who currently plays for Fisher. But I can't say. I don't know if he's announced it yet, but there's another player. All right? I mean, yo, watch Future. Chaos Feelings, I am not the observer. And also, if Cumberland doesn't do something exciting, I don't watch. Big EMP here against the University of Calgary. And that's going to be a couple of shots from FPSA there in Carvester on the other side. That man just threw a nade into his lap. Well, the big blast will pump away at Lost Aimer, and Southern Mississippi has got the nade spam down. Zach W. Keys and Viz are looking low on the crown here, and here comes the full send. Exodus has already gone out, and the UCF Knights, they've heard the shots, and they want to get involved. University of Calgary will be wiped out, but just as quickly, Sloshy Medusa from the Knights has found a knock on the Viz. The Wraith portal's coming through here as Callus from Purdue's getting knocked from UCF Knights. We've got Purdue and USM struggling. Everybody wanted to be a part of the equation, and now it's going to be USM potentially biting the first bullet. SCC arrives alongside UCF to be a fifth party to the equation, and that will be hopefully everybody taking a corner, calming down, putting themselves back together to survive our end game. Kennesaw State Black, they're one of those rosters playing for recovery here. A couple other teams, but Southern Mississippi will inevitably be chased down by the St. Clair Saints, and they are going to be out in 17th overall. St. Clair quickly back into their building. Shout out to Goblin on top from Western there. A little long-range knock. I say it's the Volt, but still. Woo! R.I.T. Do you think at least one guy in this lobby is cheating? Zephyr does not make judgments or claims on cheating. He is too stupid. He does not have eyes, and he does not know anything about that sort of topic. It is not my place to cast the execution upon these players if they are or not. Some have been caught in the past. End of the day, I like to just cast. Couple of big beams here, and it's none other than the Eva catching out Howl. Western Outlaws, you saw the long-range knock on Temple. They finally closed the distance from up above. Sadly, it's going to take a couple of good triple shot shakes, and instead, they'll miss out on the tear. Instead, in the kill feed, we'll say goodbye to Cumberland University, and Temple Cherry are down to simplicity. Still, though, Ottawa Pioneers, just RJ left alive. A big crack from the side, and down into the choke below. That's probably going to be an Ottawa lesson. That's it for Temple Cherry. They're picked off there in their final moments. Limbox picks up that KP, and the Ottawa Pioneers, they're really no better. Both of them die down below. Well, dig in the dirt, and you will find soil. Sadly, it doesn't cost much or give you life. UCSD, they're still alive even as a duo in their building. Teams like Sac State, Fisher, they are the only two squads not in Lotus for this final end game. Sac State, that makes a little bit of sense. And of course, all the way down on the low, Fisher, come on, has Fisher not ever played Edge? They're a team that loves to edge. ISU Farmers, this is a big recovery for them. First game of the day, Kamal's asleep. He's got himself completely set up for failure, and they're already into the end zone here. They've got high ground and will be able to play it out. For Dom 2 Cracked and the rest of Fisher, though, they've got a couple of early knocks onto Ferris State Crimson, and it's up to Pure. But it ain't looking good. Still, a knock response onto Golden, and the full thirst might come his way. Slothulas, what are we doing? Anyways, a quick revive there, and Dom 2 Crack. There's a reason this guy plays the lifeline. Every single time the fight cooks off, it's none other than Dom picking up the wipes. Minnesota State, UCSD, RIT, Kennesaw, Western, Purdue, and few others here for the final Lotus finish. Minnesota State, a delivery of a dub might turn into failure. They've already wiped out one from UCSD, and that guarantees them a nice position in the building ahead. Granted, RIT holding the outside is quick to peek, and that is Fragger legend Schmalls dropped from Minnesota. That's like wiping out Imperial Howl from the Falcons here for the MNSU roster. Kennesaw State Black, though, they are just just as quickly to hear it in Lotus, and they're right from behind. A Nox gas grenade dropped out in front of them, and a thermite is placed down in response to hopefully get rid of the gas there. RIT, though, a quick knock, and with the gas slowly tempering away, Kennesaw might start to move in to finish the fight here. Parsnips will be brought back to life, but I can't imagine it will be completely healthy. Gas traps down, and that is the only saving grace. Kennesaw, they'll move on. And for Minnesota, they're out to the edge to try and put themselves back together. What do you think of the wingman being popular out of nowhere? It's always been a fairly good gun and effective at a lot of things, and a lot of these schools and players have just a ton of experience playing with the wingman. And so many pros and competitors do too. When it shows any level of good, people are going to pick it back up. It's just how it goes. It's like the R99. Sac State and a couple other squads getting themselves chunked out here by Bellevue. Happy to say this roster was able to survive their late rotate. And just as quickly, you know what? They'll take a trip to the interior there. They'll dodge out the Nox gas. They'll run into a trap. And Vattery, point blank, with the support of his team, will send Sac State out in 11th. Now, the majority of our teams have picked the tale of two houses here. Both spires of Lotus, all four to be said. And they've got to set themselves up for success. The problem is, none of them know where they will fall, where the zone will pull, and how they'll have to face their end. UCSD will take us down to 9 as Ur and a couple other trades from the UCF roster has got a fight between Bellevue and the rest. But Bellevue with a full thirst tells me Bellevue is coming out on top of that one. This is College ALGS Hot Pie and Shadu Ryu's K Shakur. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the height of College Apex. Now, I know there's a lot of teams, but realistically, there's a huge separation between most of them. Some of them are in buildings alone, some of them have height, and well, some of them are KSU and, well, Minnesota State here. Currently caught out with one, hiding with the crypto. Not Rowan getting sniped from afar. It's Goblin on top here with the edge. Couple of charged rifle shots, and that should be a simple finish. But instead, they're going to hide behind the cracks that will be and hopefully get themselves back in together. Iowa State Farmers finally looking for their push out of their building. Purdue Black is on the other side. It's Midwest versus Midwest. And between Farmers, well, it's in ISU's name. Tharquetius dropped down here. Purdue's got nowhere to run. Palisk is removed. And with one last remaining of Purdue, it's going to be the full send from Kamal to look for the finish here. Right to the edge of door. They're wrapping as quickly as they can, and a dive to the low ground will lose them their trained focus. UCF Knights, they get finished off by Bellevue on the edge, and Purdue, well, they'll dodge where they can. This is game 2, Vegatus. Game 2. Kamal will finally find Waukee there to breach into our top 6, and honestly, this is a surprisingly aggressive start to Lotus. 6 squads remaining, though, and you guys got to think about this. Between those 2 buildings that are left alive, you got the height on both of them, and you got the low ground. Also, there is a third building in play you can see down towards the south that Fisher are currently working with here. So, not anyone is really pressured at this moment. Western Outlaws are still going to take a hell of a vert nade there, and that's going to be Goblin on top with a couple of snipes from the other high ground. Fisher Esports, they might be on the southern building, but they will still punish where they can. The only problem, folks, is that if Fisher want to close that gap, I don't think they're going to be making the cross anytime soon. Minnesota State Mavericks, shout out to them. Last we checked, they were 1 member remaining and now present down below Kennesaw and a couple of these other rosters. Slothia's got the G7 Scout, and I did hear a Kraber somewhere in the distance, possibly in Fisher's hands. Western Outlaws, a little scan there, and we finally are able to describe the final building of the day. Western, Minnesota, Kennesaw, they have a position, some real estate that they have invested in. For teams like Bellevue, ISU here, and Fisher, it's time to move. Prices are rising, and you've got to find a home for your family. Fisher have made the cross, and up onto height they will present. They've already got Western Outlaws just below them on this floor, and Fisher is not a team that will take this lightly. Kraber in the hands of Dom 2 Crack. There's Bellevue down below, and he's got, ooh, 1 in the chamber, but none to find. Sunphobia, thank you for the heart. I don't think Bellevue even understands how dangerous this will become. Nades from up above. ISU have already faced a knock of one. Muffins is traded, and yes, it's Dom with the Kraber from all the way on height. That's going to be the first knock against Bellevue here. Another found by Kamal Yavuz. And with Juxi, the last remaining member, a former #1 ranked split champion, I can't imagine he will last for long. It's up to Kamal and not Koryu to survive and thrive, but they got a port behind them, and the rest of these teams are looking to wipe them away. Kennesaw State Black, the quickly as they appear is just as quickly as they return. Now Dom, he is a punishing man, and he will end Bellevue's life. Smite down from above. Fisher control the flow of these teams. Kennesaw, Western, and Fisher, they are the big dog daddies who control the final building here. ISU is currently stuck on the outside. And Minnesota, I believe they're also in that building below. A couple of scans from them. And realistically, I'm going to level with you guys. It might come down to the very final moment here until these teams are forced to drop, forced to play a different height, to work their way out of the building. Nothing will change. Now, granted, Fisher gets to make the first claim to this choice. From this high ground position, they can choose exactly where they see themselves fit. For teams like KSU, Minnesota, and Western, they've got their own problems. Western here trying to invest into Fisher while they have the time. Granted, 45 seconds to go. They need to capitalize off of these knocks. There's the crack up on height. A burn and a beam onto Golden. I don't think Fisher expected this kind of aggression. The Mad Maggie Ball to blast them back here as they'll pop into Lifeline Ultimate. Slothulus is removed. And our legend, Dom 2 Cracked, is the last member alive. One quick peek from the low ground, and it is a third party. Kennesaw State Black has arrived. And again, Western Outlaws are quick to wipe this roster. Dom is still in it. And I believe still Kennesaw Black might be able to pull themselves back together. But it is ISU with the recovery on Group T. Minnesota down below. Kennesaw stuck in a choke. And Western up above. Western, who have taken it away, have pulled themselves from the grace of God. Whether it be hubris or passion, they are not a pious team. The zone, its wrath and fire will find its way forward, whether you like it or not, and you will burn and suffer. Couple of scans against ISU, and they are preying on the ledge like pigeons here. Minnesota State Mavericks, they know they've got Kennesaw right up against them in the choke. Soares said hydrate. Thank you, Soares. Final zone ahead. Kennesaw out on their own high ground. Western, the minute they peek out, might drop right on top of them. Lamederios, or however you say it, I apologize. I'm a fat chud. Thank you so much for the follow. Iowa State Farmers down from their height, sniped in the back. There's the Lifeline Ultimate down, and I think they're abusing it because it's got to be Dom's. Here it is, a full scan and an EMP ready in 20 here for Group T. Instead, a beam around the back. Fisher will be eliminated. The 99 primed here for the ISU chokeout against Kennesaw, but they're working box to box. Kindly Monkey will step up, but Kindly Monkey will be forced to teleport back. Elixirs is dropped, and Kennesaw are down to one. ISU's got the black hole out, but they've got a whole team to deal with. A knock on the Meadsy, and Minnesota are with one remaining member left here. Iowa State Farmers are burning around the back, and the Mavericks will be wiped out. Kennesaw are down to just Kindly Monkey. Western are just Lock Sanity. And from sleepy heads to successes, the Iowa State Farmers will take your game 2. User 103834708131. Thank you for the follow. PTX40A. Thank you for the follow. ISU went from 20th in game 1 to first place in second. Ace Muddy. Thank you for the follow. Dr. Dupree, everybody, thank you for the compliments. Let's pop over to that scoreboard. QNXH, Pradamani, thank you for the follows. The scoreboard, though, Remember, let's check. We've got standings, we got predictions, and we got potential giveaways. The refresh for Iowa State Farmers, it's a 22-point dub. 10 KP. You saw their reset. You saw their successes. You saw their failures. From 20th all the way to 1st. Group T is back. Kamal Yavuz, Turkish legend, is representing. I can't believe Group T's playing crypto. Either way, congratulations to the Farmers. HVAC Novelties, thank you for the compliment. You're good at this. It is my official job. Literally. I cast for the official Apex Legends Pro League. Western Outlaws here, 16 points. Fisher with 16. Kennesaw State Black with 14. And 12 for Bellevue University. The overall standings will put Minnesota still in the lead. Can I get the credit I deserve, Know You? Know You was fragging. Know You was frying. Excellent job, Know You. Focus on your games, though. You're currently playing. Kennesaw State Black with 2 second places in a row. Watch out, guys. This is going to sneak up on the competition. 2 second places. Kennesaw is at 28 points. No, they have not delivered a dub, but this is an absurd start for them. Now, Iowa will tie with Fisher, 22 points there. A tie between St. Clair and Bellevue. We still got to hit 60 points. Minnesota State Mavericks are 29 away. The Caustic will be banned, and it's time to move on. Justin Aviliella, thank you so much. Our outcome, I asked you guys over under Minnesota State 5.5. Sadly, they walked away with 3. All right. Let's target a player here. Let's look at our overall standings right now. We got Sloth, Bellevue's VOD, and St. Clair Saints Rusty G. I'm Kayak. Good to see ya. Here you guys go. Who performs the best? This is our prediction. Up here if you want to join it. We've got Slothulas. We got Voddery. And we've got Rusty G from St. Clair Saints. Those are your picks. 5 minutes on the board. Get your bets in. Why banned? Bree easy. In competitive Apex Legends, legends get banned based off of highest pick rate. So Caustic was picked the most in game 2, which means it gets banned. And that kind of helps these teams play a different meta and showcase the extent of their style. Very simple. Caustic is a very strong controller legend, but that doesn't mean there are other great picks not available. Catalyst has shown a lot of strength recently. Teams like Tamu love Rampart. Watson finds its purchase. But as we move on to Stormpoint, you're going to have to make what works work for you. Hopefully some new castles begin to show face here because Stormpoint can be punishing depending on our end. All right, well, we're already moving on. Game number 3 underway. Welcome to Spoint. They do the same in ALGS. That's right, HVAC. If you're a fan of competitive Apex anywhere, legend bans have taken the meta by storm. All right? It is very clearly a great choice for variety, for making teams play something different. Back in the day when I first started casting in 2021 for Apex, pretty much every single team played the same 4 or 5 legends nonstop, over and over, again and again. All right, guys. Andrew Dernsey, thank you for sharing the live. I wish they did it in PCL, but it's not big enough. Paul, I wish they did it in PCL too. If you don't know what PCL is, there are 4 major leagues for Collegiate Apex Legends. Octane's the biggest and best, but you've got ECAC, NECC, and PCL. Don't worry about the acronyms, but PCL plays on Thursdays, and they are a fresh face. Snowball, thank you for the follow. Misplays, send me the picture of that trophy. Okay, University of Calgary, we like to play with our food. We're chefs in the kitchen and we like to cook. Oh my God. Please shoot them. Please do anything. Who is this? Jogler? What did I just witness? The rest of UT Tyler looks no better, and whether it's Fisher or Calgary, they cannot keep up with the quality of this lobby today. That is 2 0-point starts in a row for the University of Texas Tyler roster. They took over, replacing Utah's position as the 11th place team in semifinals. And you know what? It is what it is. Calgary, though, I will say, kind of having a rough start for the Canadians here. They had a #1 finish yesterday. 2 big wins at the very end of the day. Has not looked good. Sac State is being surrounded. Well, shit. Either they fight or they die. That's how I play. This isn't a LAN tournament. No. This is online. There is a LAN in Ohio, Cincinnati on May 2nd and 3rd for this competition. So this is not only a $1,000 prize pool today, it is also a qualifier for the LAN in Ohio. All right. Everyone is pinging me. I'm going to check it for a second. All right. I love driving the car around too, and I know UCSD does as well, but they're running into one of the few teams that loves Rampart more than they love winning, Texas A&M. It is none other than an ARC specialty. If you don't expect it, if you never think about it, you'll never expect ARC with the Rampart Sheila. That is a delivery from the Aggies that I've seen far too many times, and no one learns their lesson. That's why you don't go driving drunk, kids. And it'll be in Cincinnati, Ohio, at the Innovative Center. Trash Cans, welcome back, Trash Cans. You're my goat. Ank is just on Rampart Path, and that's it. I've never seen that guy on any other legend. He has a pool. What can I say? There's only 2 legends in it, but he has a pool. Okay? Granted, it plays against Texas A&M, but it's how. How are they getting this good loot so quickly, man? Ace, they're cheaters. Every single one's cheaters. Might have to pull up. Hey, there you go. Oh, St. Clair Saints caught out here by Bellevue. And the Bruins will make short work of our Griffins here. A couple of nades to slow Vattery down, but the peak play from Rusty G. That's not a man who misses his beams. A 2v2 here against Bellevue. And it's up to the St. Clair Saints to deliver a promising blow down to the low ground here. Juxie's covering one zip line. Vattery's been revived. And back up to the high ground of St. Clair. They will arrive. A crack of one from one side. And you have to question, where are Rusty G? Juxie's got that conduit heal, and it's one of the few teams to run a conduit, to have a quick shield reset in the middle of your fight here. St. Clair, though, goddamn Rusty. Rusty G with another knock against Vattery, and it is a Rusty G masterclass. Problem is, you're still dealing with Juxie. Drone is out, and a beacon recovery might be playing through. Another full thirst on Vod, but with Rusty dropping down, that is a trade that might come back to bite St. Clair. A respawn from a Bezzy will be landing here in just a second, but between Muffins and Juxie, there's no way you're surviving. Muffins did go down here. And unless Juxie gets this revive, it's up to a Bezzy versus the former rank 1 player in all of Apex. Juxie versus a Bezzy. It should be a Juxie dub, and that man showcases a masterclass in his experience. Now, Kennesaw Black and the rest of these teams are nearby because it is going to be a barometer finish. Novelties, thank you for the heart, man. Big love to you. I can't hit my chest that hard or I will go into cardiac arrest. That was way closer than it should have been. Bellevue is looking a little washed. Who's close to match point? Nobody. It's 29 points away at the highest for Minnesota State Mavericks. I will say, Kennesaw State Black, that was your chance to move in, okay? You had an opportunity to capitalize, and instead, they're going to play it right on the buildings that be. Sac State Esports are just across from them here as Purdue will fly on in. Ottawa's in the Nut Building, and Temple and UCF round out our barometer teams. Juke was selling there for a second. Hey, judge them as you can. Participate to prove. Bear State Crimson, Texas A&M, and oh my gosh, Fisher's in Pylon. All right. Inside sources say there was no audio top of barrow fighting. We do not blame KSU Black. Misplays. I will take your inside sources. We will deal with them. we will treat them as law instead of fiction. Oh, it's Fisher versus Southern Miss. All right, well, Southern Miss, they already don't look like they have a problem here. A quick Sparrow's ultimate to the outside, and that's damage that should deliver a knock. Southern Mississippi from either side, and they need to push for 60 if it means winning today. Remember, they're on a timer. They got to play preseason qualifiers here in just a few hours. From up on high, though, Fisher's gotten a reset. Beams from Dom to cracked, and that's the flesh found here from none other than my big fat man. I don't know if Fisher, they've got any other problems ahead. Viz is healing this one, but it is a slow heal. Couple of syringes. And yeah, here he is. A glutton in the passion, the face of Apex. Thalos will find a knock, and that's your lifeline wiped out. If I was Fisher, I might be paying my respects here and start to move on. Golden and Slothulas, it's time to get out. University of Calgary. Oh, our winners of game 2. Iowa State Farmers. Holy, that is a split. All right, well, Iowa State Farmers are going to survive. If you guys like them boys, yes, one will die here in Group T, but the rest of the roster's already run away to checkpoint and should be fine. Purdue is in the lobby novelties, by the way, 100%. Hey, 2-3, if you want to make that jump to college, you want to participate in one of these leagues, they are as welcomed as can be. Fisher Esports, they try to put themselves back together with all the Kingsmen and all their horses here inside Jurassic, and they find themselves chomped apart. Now, granted, outside of Cedo Station, I mean, there's the Crafter. They've got a couple of revives out towards Lagoon. Fisher will be fine. Go Boilermakers. Hey, we'll just see if they got enough track to get the train down the track. All right. Bellevue University. We are going to highlight that they control the high ground here of Barometer. If this is going to be that southern play over towards them in Kennesaw, that's going to pay dividends here for a potential win. Their biggest dub of the day, hopefully. All right, T-Orange. Someone said hello. I don't know who said hello. Might have been Minnesota, but someone said hello. You guys like when you got those wraiths saying hello to you? They tried to kidnap. I mean, for those who don't know, a kidnap is a play when you take the portal, you run it into an enemy team, and you try to take them back to your building. Teams like UCF Minnesota, they are the only ones in the distance who could have tried to play that, maybe Western as well. It doesn't always work, but if you know you're not going to use the portal anytime soon, it's a good way to get some KP and start a fight when you're chasing it. University of Calgary. They have got a tiny little Fisher right alongside them, living up to the name, playing the water, and into the edge of Cascades here, outside checkpoint. Calgary's going to play for, I guess, the care pack for now. They're going to have to rotate, whether it be right back into Iowa State or further ahead. Iowa's got to get that syringe off. And Slothula's the same to be said. My man is playing hide and seek here. A beautiful rotation from Fisher Esports and Iowa State Farmers. And we are silent in the winds of Calgary. Now, Texas A&M, you saw their early finishes with the Sheila. Arc is the primary favorite here. I don't know what I'm saying. The guy's good. Okay, the guy's good. All right. Texas A&M, they got a bit of control over here towards the side Jurassic, but Cumberland overwatching. Can't imagine we'll see them survive for long, especially with this dastardly of a team. And Calgary on the outside also set up here. Zephyr, have you ever seen Blinkster do kidnaps? Bros elite? Hey, good chunk of our pro players are elite at that. Granted, Blinkster's pretty damn good. Shout out to Blinkster. Congratulations on his championship. Texas A&M, I like this. They feel the pressure. They don't want to deal with it. They got a couple of rampart walls set back up over on the fence line. You know what? They're going to have to deal with Calgary, but especially with the barometer zone pulling back up towards that northern side, I like this a lot better for the Aggies. Minnesota State Mavericks and RIT will provide as the benefactors of defending here. Granted, Calgary, they're going to be the first ones to take the fight to the Aggies. Remember, ISU and Fisher are rotating in. Colleges do play by ALGS rules. There are some colleges do, or college leagues do have their own rules but it is usually ALGS standard. This is, though, I will say, a 60-point match point format. ISU Farmers, You know what? They go from a dub to 17th overall. Sadly, putting yourself back together. You tried to do it in the same location as Fisher. Now Calgary, they'll step up to take a bite out of the Aggies here. Oh, and they've got their own Rampart. I tell you, that caustic ban, it'll make you make some choices. Tamu, they've got their Sheila Prime just as well and ready, but here's the problem. Zone is closing. Neither of these teams have finished their fight, and you better pray you've got the Valkyrie ready to go to get out of Dodge. We'll check in with Purdue. Center Spire up barometer's fine for now, but when you've got Bellevue looking to take a quick... I think VOD and the rest might find the end of the Boilermakers here in just a second. They are another team that is playing around that Rampart, and it will save them for a little bit there, but with Juxi a crack on the side of the shield, you're probably a couple seconds away from finding yourself caught out. Darquisha's got a drop, and it's none other than University of Southern Mississippi's Thalys here with the full knock. Joaquin Callis, you just gotta pray. Play inside the portal and don't go down. Couple of long-range shots from Zach W. Keys, and woo! 150 to the crown. UDK Ice Cold Zen, thank you so much for the follow. Zach W. Keys, a knock on to Joaquin. Southern Mississippi, they realize Purdue is easy pickings. Now, Ashila will catch out Vize, and Thalys, he's got to hide where he can. But Zach W. Keys is quick to find a response. Bellevue, though, they hear the fight. It's settled for them. They've got the damage provided. A dive around the back. A wingman into the corner. There's the single remaining member. And with Juxi, a single shot in the chamber, he'll put away that USM team. Sac State, Ferris, Bellevue, all still forced to rotate. Temple and Ottawa, they're the piece of the puzzle that sends the Aggies packing here. Cumberland University, we talked about them being a little late to their rotate. Right now, they're trying to see if they can play into the UCF Knights building, at least for now. Heights is not a bad spot. Future Streams, a quick turnaround with the longbow. Double 120 in the back. UDK Ice Cold Zen, this is not customs. This is a $5 or a $1,000 finals for Collegiate Apex Legends. Match point format. Well, Bellevue looks like they actually struggled here. Sac State seems like they found a knock against them. Remember, Beaufort is a pro league caliber player. The same to be said out of a man like VOD. They got that conduit tactical. It's 2K. OI says it's 2K. I can't count. I can't do math. That's sick. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. And Ferris State is in, albeit they are struggling today. Isn't Juxi playing in the LGS Open? Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Lemedarios, there are a lot of these players in the ALGS Open. Right now, USM is currently the second highest by points in the Open and is very likely to get into Pro League as a full collegiate roster here. Beautiful nades from the Bellevue University team. And it's time to fight your way in. RIT Orange, they've been gatekeeping for long, but when your job is to gatekeep the Fishers, you're gonna taste a beak and a half there. Little port down below, and Parsnips and the rest of RIT will be thirsted out. Slothios and Golding holding that eastern side. It's really no better for Minnesota State Mavericks alongside RIT. Not Rowan is out towards the boxes, and one bad push play, and Meadsy will find you cracked here. RIT will be wiped out into the face of the Ottawa drop, and Ottawa, they've got to fight their way up against Fisher. Granted, out on the low ground with a beam into Lifeline. The edge of zone ticking. There is no success for Ottawa here. A supporting shots out from the side of Kennesaw State Black, and it's already multiple knocks from the Fisher roster. It's up to Logan Reek as Dom will finish off Minnesota on the other side of the bridge of this fight. Golden makes a bad peek play here, and remember, the minute you extend out into KSU is the minute that you die. Ottawa, though, will still go out there, and it's a beautiful riot drill from Slothulas to set that fight up. 10 squads remaining. Is Ferris still in the game? Yes, Pure is still here. There you go. One remaining member of Ferris State. Pure is ratting, and Pure will die, probably. All right, Speed Demon, good to see ya. Sac State and Ferris, they're finished off here. University of Calgary and a couple of these other squads, they learned that our zone continues to pull upwards towards the north of the barometer. Western and Calgary, both of our Canadian teams here, they've got to move over. And remember, with that corner being held. That is the god spot for this finish, but competing for it is going to take a lot. Temple Cherry also wants to invest inside that position there. Instead, let's pull to the edge of the zone. UCF, a trade onto the phase, a dock onto Elixirs, and this is Kennesaw State Black, who for the very first time may not be finishing second. Problem is, a face of a Rampart and charge damage over on the edge. Kennesaw's already got a big knock on their own way. You're the rest of UCF, though. They're throwing them from a loop, and they can't beat the Rampart walls. No revive, and it's going to be the Newcastle wiped out there. One remaining member on both UCF and Kennesaw's edge. A flatline burn, and realistically, Kennesaw wins that 10 out of 10. Fisher Esports here on their own push as well. We'll see how they can set themselves up. Cumberland University, they are the team that holds the corner. A defense against Calgary Western. It should be easy pickings. Temple's removed, but a climb up from the other side. A dash through the air, and single-handedly, Western Outlaws will destroy Cumberland. 4 squads remaining, and they've got that catwall for the best prayer that they can muster. Fisher on the outside, one single shot, and while yes, there is height held, Fisher are much, much more stable. Kennesaw is right here on the edge. It's going to be a Fisher versus Western Kennesaw finish. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if Kennesaw don't win it, it is going to be another Kennesaw second place end. Dom 2 cracked a quick peek there. Remember, Fisher likes to get aggressive, but Kennesaw can capitalize. You have to be so close. Lifeline? Dom plays Lifeline because the team gets hyper aggressive and they need the Lifeline for reset. Here's Golden going for the push play. A knock on to Limbox, and that's members from both rosters down. Fisher the only 3 pieces put together, and it's the Lifeline that keeps them glued. A long-range drill from Golden as they keep Western on their toes here. A shield broken on the Cryptos. Kennesaw are able to get the reset utilizing Kindly Monkey's Newcastle passive. A 3v3 on either side, a Kraber in the hands of Monkey, and it is no shot. I'll tell you what, a couple long-range takes, and somehow Western is still alive, finally, with the zone forcing them in. Lock Sanity will be peeled away, and it's Fisher who are likely to be the benefactors of the majority of this scoreline. I mean, it's a tough place to be at this point. Goblin on top, Payne as a duo, massive snipes here, a crack from the Kraber, and Western will not survive the onslaught. Golden has arrived, and it's looking like we might be seeing a Fisher dub all the same. Kindly Monkey can't cross to get the reset, and Fisher's the only team healthy. A massive nade, flesh on either end. Kennesaw will go out in third, and with one final remaining member of Western, Fisher will take their first dub of the day. Explosive Llama, thank you for the follow. A lot of them MKers at mixed. It's fairly mixed. Singular Frog, thank you for the 7-stream streak. Let's take a look at the scoreline because we're already into game number 4. Let's get to what matters most. Fisher Esports, they'll take away the overall 48 points that game. Game 3, yes, 26 points. Let's host a giveaway. All right. Exclamation point giveaway in chat. Exclamation point giveaway in chat. We've officially hit our first giveaway of the day. A $10 giveaway here. You don't have to be following. You don't even have to be a first-time fan. All you gotta do is put that in chat, and you might find yourself a success. Sweet Gibbons, Bam Slam, thank you for the follows. Lexus, you as well. Unnecessary. JC did it. Thank you for the follow there. User 33855, thank you for the follow. All right, Topical Rat Chat. Let me go through the score line here. Fisher Western, 18 there, 14 for Calgary, University of Cumberland with 11, 10 on 10 for Kennesaw and Bellevue, and lower as we go. Overall, Fisher are now 12 points away from being match point eligible. Crypto, a highlight of the competition, will be banned out. Kennesaw State Black, 22 points away. Western Outlaws, 26. Minnesota, 27. Cumberland and Bellevue, both 33, respectively. Fisher absolutely can get on match point in one game. Dare to Inspire, thank you for the press starts. Appreciate that. I believe that says how you. I'm good. Thank you. All right. Prediction real quick. I asked you guys who performs the best this last game between Slothulas and Vatari. Well, to no surprise here, Slothulas takes the cake. The highest points on the board. Team standings. Let's do our timer. Ooh. Let's do overall survival. All right. We got to move quick. And then I got to do the giveaway. Who survives the longest? Let's do Limbox. Let's do Meadsy. Slaw. Let's do Dom on the lifeline. Dom 2 cracked. There you guys go. This time around, you only get 2 minutes. Dare to inspire. Thank you so much for the gifts. All right. We're officially getting into our next game here. And with that, let us pull for our giveaway. Last chance to get exclamation point giveaway in. I'm going to choose a winner. Last chance. Last chance. I'm going to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And our winner of the giveaway is Coopster. Congratulations to Coopster. You got a message in chat. You got 30 seconds to message in chat. There you go, Coopster. Please contact me either here on Twitch or after the stream, and I will get you paid out for your $10 of Apex coins. Remember, folks, we got giveaways running all day long. If I feel like we're not doing enough giveaways and I'm being a little too strict with them, remember, the giveaway is for 24 points. If a team is able to get 24 points here, they can, if a team gets 24 points, we'll do a giveaway. That's awesome, man. Man, you guys are being so kind. All right, PD first. There you go. Jacket's gone. We're getting serious. Let's pop in to game number 4. Now, we didn't get to talk about it because ALGS has entered Olympus into the competition. It's time for some Olympus action. There we go. Quick, everyone peer pressure him into going shirtless. This is an official stream representing Octane Collegiate. As much as I would, and as much as this shirt is exploding off of me right now. Holy, that is tough. Also, shout out my necklace. I can finally show it off a little bit more now that we're on there. There's my Apex. What subathon goals have we hit? We are currently past 850, but we're not quite at 900. Granted, a singular frog after today. I'm going to go back. I'm going to fix a couple of those subathon goals. I'm going to discuss it with you guys in my Discord. If you guys want to stay up to date with more competitions, more giveaways, and a lot of other fun things we like to do on stream, consider to follow. Yeah, notice how they're not playing the garbage mess they force us to play? Whoa. 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 Hey, that's fair. Albeit, the day I see Kings Canyon in competitive Apex might be the day that I die. Riker, welcome to College Apex. Talk about an incredible, incredible start, but it is the finals. $2,000 on the line, a match point finish. Right now, we're 12 points away for Fisher Esports being match point eligible. What about Broken Moon? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Ottawa Pioneers caught by Reap, and it's a long-range dive of Sheila. That's going to be Ur with the first knock of game number 4 here. UCF, though, they're not really closing the gap in a way that elicits a full wipe. Pioneers, remember, though, this is pro league caliber players. RJ, Cloaked. They're not going to run away even in a 2v3 situation. And they maybe should have. That will be the UCF Knights with another knock. A charge rifle from afar. Ottawa have at least been able to get Reap back into it. Strange, thank you for the follow. And the UCF Knights are in for the slam. Out to the window over on the side. Sloshy Medusa, he will thrive. Big beams and a crack. OJ Ryuk will go out. RCJ I mean, there's really nothing left to say. A crack around the side, 18 on the noggin. That means there's only 72 health left. And in the end, your winners of Stage 1, College Apex, will be eliminated. I'm vibing with this channel. Strange, I'm vibing with you. Remember, Ottawa Pioneers was the team that won Stage 1. This looks like silver rank play. Guac, you're probably not better than a good chunk of these players. It's a shame, but it's true. Fisher Esports, as a duo versus UT Tyler, they already wiped them one time here previously. St. Clair, RIT out in the kill feed, and these squads are getting aggressive. They understand that there's not a lot of time here left to play. It's going to get close. Remember, in match point, you have to get to 60 points and then deliver a win afterwards. When teams like Fisher are 12 points away and you're still 40 points, you have to get this done. Well, here we go. Couple of big shots. Wingman's out. Slothula's a primary member of Fisher, but maybe not the primary one that needs to survive. Dom will get wiped out by Jonkler from up above. There's the full send from Golden, and this is an uncharacteristic start for the Fisher roster. It is up to new member Golden, a split 2 arrival, and a stage 2 success. UT Tyler Esports again wiped out. Iowa State Farmers, they got a couple of burns around the back here. Group T's out, and okay, they're gone. They're gone. They didn't get to last. They didn't get to survive. You got that shirt on, though, Zephyr? There we go. Zephyr, your sub counter is broken. It is. Rest in peace. Most of these players play like Masters or Diamond at least. There you go. The majority are. Some of them are Pro League. Literally. Some of them are officially in the America Pro League. Guys, every single time I do this, Loki, is your combined chat broken? It is. The combined chat broke this morning. Cloudflare servers went down. So I can't do anything about it. Usually we have the combined chat up. Just nothing I can do. Bellevue University, a revive in front of them, and they're more than happy to pick this one away. In through the spider web of the electricity, out to the stairwell for just a little bit of a heady. A single tap away, and Western Outlaws will not survive. Vatari, the mad contender, thank you for the follow. And we have got a Summers University finish. Texas A&M, please run. Texas A&M, please run. I know we've got a Fair State Crimson fan. Rapping TV, thank you for the follow. Or VV Rapping, could be that. Zen Wraith, thank you as well. As I was saying, Texas A&M, please run. There's no chance. Is there a main feed? No, I am the main feed. Summer's End Zone, never seen that before? Yeah, no, yeah. Never see this one. Guys, I've never seen this zone. It's only... I just never. When are we going to get a fight night finish, you know? I swear, we're either Oasis or Summers. Nothing in between. Well, couple big burns around the back. Couple of chasing on the flesh here for UC San Diego. They've got an extent into the choke line. And honestly, Summers University... I pay a little bit more respect than that. Most of our rosters are not far away here. UCSD, they are going to regroup just a little bit, but to the outside, they might have one last tick available. You can see a couple of shots ringing through the air as they go on this wild goose chase. And like I said, I want to see them play this a little bit more relaxed here. Take a look at that zone. The only teams that aren't in it are Fisher, which, by the way, Fisher's never in the zone. So... let's play it a little bit more respectful. Grapp's going to get a knock on to Temple. Bellevue University, they've got a couple of shots here. Southern Mississippi's in a secluded fight of their own. Big beams onto Bellevue. Waukee with a snipe, though, will drop Vatari. And it is none other than Purdue from long range here. Zach W. Keys is starting to move up. There's the Arc Star inside building. I don't think Bellevue has a chance to get this revive off. You can see the knockdown shields are up and ready. Quick tune into Fisher while they are chasing this one out. I know that's the middle of the fight, but there you go. University of Calgary wiped out. All right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Bellevue has been able to recover. And Southern Mississippi, they don't want to fight this too aggressively. You saw what Purdue was able to do when they had that line of sight sustained here. Big shot from afar. Purdue takes you outside, out back. You don't get to come inside and eat dinner. I don't know what that means, but it is what it means. The rest of our lobby currently inside Summers. Nux Life, thank you so much for the follow. Guys, we're at 97 viewers. I want to thank you so much while you're here. For everybody that's followed today, for everybody that's enjoying college finals, for everybody that's maybe just here for the giveaway, I don't care. It's always a pleasure to cover and cast. It's my favorite thing. Well, most of our teams won't really be getting into it, but instead, Bellevue will find a knock on to Thales, a rotate out over to the side. University of Southern Mississippi, they had their chance. They found a knock earlier, but they did not capitalize while they found themselves set up. Now it is going to be another re-knock there on the Viz. Vod from one side and a pinch from Juxi on the other. USM are eliminated. Brack Attack, thank you for the follow. PJ, thank you for the follow. I'm just watching. Play, hey, there you go. And all you got to do is watch. Kennesaw State Black, they're inside Summers. Coopster says hydrate. Why is hydrate so expensive? Because my chat drowns me. Kayak says hydrate. Kayak says hydrate. Johnny says hydrate. Kayak says hydrate. Kayak says... Not Coryu. Coopster. Johnny. I'm out of water and we're in the middle of game. My tummy hurts. And Bellevue's showing pain. Callis will find a knock against him, and Bellevue have quickly moved in to Summers University. A quick revive from the inside of the building, and Bellevue are just as quickly forced to drop down below, and Purdue are back and in it. Callis will get knocked whether he likes it or not, and Bellevue is so quick here on the side. One remaining member onto the other end of Purdue. And Bellevue, while they did not have a spot inside zone, I mean, they've taken it from Purdue. Waki, I wish you the best of luck. Valkyrie is tough. He's trying to gas it up. Falcon Lord, I want to make something very clear. I drink ice cold water. It hurts. It hurts my tummy. My tummy actively hurts right now because of that. I take little sips. Coopster or croissant. Yeah, I can drink a lot of water, but it hurts. Drink warm water instead? No, that's for freaks. That's for people who like tap water. I hate tap water. All right, anyways, back to game. 10 squads remaining. The majority still going to continue to pull out towards Summers University. The real question, folks, is this going to be a northern pull, or is this going to be a southwestern pull? Okay? Why are you dying? Drink. It's just how it goes. Red Hood, I'm surprised it took you this long to follow, but hey, is what it is. Big beam around the back from Bellevue, and honestly, the Bruins finally look like the team we expected. Vod with a knock on to Hadawin, and the only question is, where is the rest of UCSD? Because we've got a can of whoop-ass from Bellevue that is ready on the side. Another big beam around the back. Rampart wall. No safety for you, and UCSD will be finished. Cold waters for soft hands, brother. My hands are soft and supple. You know what? Very simple. Very simple, soft, supple hands. They feel good, though. 8 squads for a finish. Sac State Esports, one of those teams, as this will be a northern poll for Summers University. Cumberland and Minnesota State Mavericks, two of the better teams to play for this final end zone. Fisher Esports all the way towards the west. They got to see how they present into this final position here. They need to take a fight if it means getting a confident spot ahead. Brandon, thank you for the follow. I mean, Bellevue and the rest. Bellevue's got the farthest distance to cross here. And you know what? They'll take Texas A&M while they blink. Not while they decide, not while they move, while they blink. That's it for the Aggies. Kennesaw State Black, heart of zone, edge of Summers here. Minnesota up on the high ground right alongside them. And I'll tell you what, Cumberland is going to be a big piece of the equation here in this dub. Notice how Cumberland is taking their time, okay? Michael, this is college, and does anyone know the official Apex Discord link? It's probably discord.gg/Apex. If it's not, I apologize. Now, Cumberland University, up on that northern side, they have a building to their own right, and the complete stack of zone is going to be set up here all out of Summers. Kennesaw State Black, I like the high ground play. It's not a bad position, but you can already see how just as quickly as you've got Kindly Monkey putting down shots, other teams are lying in wait, ready to capitalize here on the side. Thankfully, the Rampart's going to be one saving grace to their setup. And we'll see how the rest of this performs. Bellevue, Sac State, UCF Knights. I mean, everybody's still stuck in the main POI direct. Bellevue is the furthest away here, but with 7 squads remaining, I don't think a single team is pressured to make a move. If you're making a move, it's because you want to. I'm calling this a Bellevue game. I'll tell you what, Travis, if it's a Bellevue game, it's another giveaway, because remember, 24 points is what we need for an Apex coin giveaway. Granted, for Bellevue, they are the furthest southern team. That zone is pulling right outside of Cumberland University. They're going to start this wrap right behind Kennesaw and Fisher here. And I don't know what Sac State and UCF Knights are doing. Apparently, they're holding a stairwell. Are they making a decision to rotate out of zone? No. Are they planning ahead? Okay, they got a door. You know what? We'll see. The minute UCF rotate out of that building, it's going to be a fight and a half. For Bellevue, though, it's the send into Kennesaw that will be their deciding factor. Blue Shields on one side, and you know it's an ego check. A knock onto the Newcastle would be huge, but it's Dom 2 cracked with a snipe from behind. You either commit to this fight or you will die. Kindly Monkey and Limbox, a shield bat for recovery. Health popped away, and Sac State finds their own knock on to the crew. Another knock from Fisher against Bellevue. And while there is a revive from afar, Bellevue are still down to 1. Beams on the fence line. Slothio will be wiped out here. Golden holding with the wingman. A revive coming through from the lifeline. Reset of Dom 2 cracked here, as Bellevue will be put back together. Fisher do the same. They are still no closer to playing inside the zone. The only team that doesn't have a problem right now is Cumberland. Minnesota, a couple long-range shots. Slasher, you can see in the feed from Cumberland there. A double knock drop onto the UCF Knights of Sac State Esports. You got to climb this one up from the depths below. The minute UCF Knights arrive into zone, they arrive to their end. A flyaway here from Sac State, and Kennesaw Black cannot land a shot on the Valkyrie. It's up to Basliath and Beaufort to survive. Kennesaw is getting sniped out piece by piece, and it's none other than Bellevue University constantly pressuring from every side of the zone. Cumberland University, though, look at the crack, look at the knocks. The shields have broken, and thunder rains from above. Future streams an arc play above. Now a Seer ultimate has been brought down, and Future, that's the reason why he is not moving in. With that ultimate burnt out here, and Bellevue down 1. It is pure chaos for our final zone finish. Psychic gets a snipe on a Dom 2 crack, and it'll be a finish from Beaufort from Sac State. Fisher's our first team eliminated in our top 6. Minnesota is very healthy, and in their return, they will find a knock on a Bass Live, a drop from up above, and it is up to a wipe on the Muffins. Juxie's from the other side. It's a full commit. Minnesota and Kennesaw from the other end. A full rotate here, and Minnesota from success to failure has transformed in less than a second. Kennesaw is taking snipes of their own, and somehow, I will say, Minnesota are still alive as one. But it will be a full thirst of elixirs against the Kennesaw roster. A revive on the Muffins will try and keep Bellevue alive as Kennesaw Black down to a duo are finally forced to drop. Cumberland controls the height, and that means Cumberland controls life here. Slasher, Sykin, Future Streams, 4 squads remaining. Kennesaw Black finally deleted here. A scan onto the interior, and Bellevue has picked their next target. They do not have battery, and instead are shot from above and are shot from the rampart shields that will provide. Speed Demon Meadsy, only 60 health here, and it is going to be tough to get out of this choke, albeit they will try. Snipe though from Future Streams. Sac State eliminated. Cumberland from up above here, and while yes, there is a Newcastle revive, there's just as much as Sparrow pressure to end your life. That'll be it for Bellevue, out in third. And with Cumberland, little pressure, a deja vu win from above here. Minnesota is good, but they are not God. They will peek outside of their door. A Sheila will try. It will get a knock of one, but Meadsy will fall. And Cumberland University will take game 4. Congratulations to Cumberland University. The Phoenixes rise from the ashes and see success in their 4th game of the day. Spy DeMay, thank you for the follow here. I appreciate the compliments on the announcing, but we've got some competitions. Is it the one in Tennessee? I don't know. Personally, I actually don't know Cumberland's exact prediction of location. All right, let's go on over to the scoreboard here because we got to check if we hit 24. Bellevue's going to be the team to do it. Maybe Cumberland. The overall scoreboard says, yes, we've got 2 plus 24 wins, and that means we've got 2 giveaways. Exclamation point giveaway in chat. We're doing two $10 giveaways here. We're going to catch up with what we missed. Get those exclamation point giveaways in because our teams have delivered. Remember, if you hit 24 points, we do a $10 giveaway, and both Cumberland and Bellevue have managed it. Minnesota at 12, Fisher at 9, Sac State at 8. I asked you guys in the prediction who would survive the longest here. Looking at our time, we asked Limbox, Meadsy, Dom to Cracked. Meadsy was the 3rd longest surviving member, right there to the end. Did not beat Cumberland. But you know what? It's a big dub for those of you that placed your bets. Let's get a prediction going here because right now, nobody is on match point. Here you guys go. The next prediction. Who reaches match point? Get those giveaways in. Get those giveaways in. Who reaches match point? Will it be Fisher? 3 points to go. Will it be Bellevue? 7 points. Will it be Cumberland? I just realized this doesn't work. Okay. How many teams reach match point? There we go. That's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bigger bet at that. 5 minutes on the clock. Minnesota at 45 need 15 to get to match point. Kennesaw need 43. If it's your first time seeing a match point tournament, you need to hit 60 points, and then you are eligible for the dub. We've reached our match minimum too, which means we are guaranteed to see a winner. Valkyrie will be removed, and we re-enter World's Edge. Saving, thank you for the follow. Your prediction has started. Make an option for 0. If it's 0, which it won't be, I will refund all the points. There's no way it's Ziver. All right, guys. Come on. Exclamation point giveaway. We're going to hop into game here in just a second, but I need to pick my 2 winners. That's right. 2 winners. All right. I've got 55 entries right now. I'm looking for 60, 70. Does it have to be win next game or after 60 points? In match point format, you get to 60 points, and then you have to win the next game. So we are guaranteed to at least see 6 games today. All right, let's take it back here. Our 2 winners of the giveaway. Remember, you got to send a message in chat to claim. Winner number 1. I can't believe it. It's Misplays. Former champion, legend of Octane Collegiate, now a grad. You know what? The winner just doesn't stop winning. Congratulations to Misplays. I can't believe that. Here we go. Misplays, please contact me here on Twitch or Discord. I'll get you paid out after the broadcast. Another winner? That's BS. That's actually rigged. That's rigged. It's Oisicle. OI is the host of Octane. He is the primary admin. I'll re-roll it. I'll re-roll it here. If you want me to. Holy W, do you want those Apex coins? That's the question of the day. We need this? Oh, damn, he wants those Apex coins. There's nothing I can do. Congratulations to OI and Misplays. I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry. All right. Please reach out to me. I am going to reset all entries here. Remember, when we hit 24 points, whoever the teams, however many hit it, that is when we do a giveaway. The names behind me is all my subscribers during our subathon. The subathon is still going. We are at 23 hours left here, and we have 853 subs. Let's pop back in game, because I don't want to waste any more time. Oh my god, Pure got a knock on Vatari. It's like showing up for Christmas and opening a present. Won the final tap there. Pure will wipe out one of the greatest legends in Collegiate. From Pro League to Duffing in Dust. Now, I don't think Bellevue are dead. I don't think Ferris State has the kahunas to chase this one down and finish the objective. But you've got to be kidding me. What are we doing? Not the ad. Well, I'll tell you what. Thankfully, Jin, the ad is starting at the very beginning of the game. If you don't want to deal with ads, consider subscribing. It helps support me. It allows me to host my community tournaments. It allows me to work full-time and continue doing this as a professional streamer. If you disagree with that, well, then that's your problem. I'll be honest with you, if you stick around for quite a long time, people will probably sub for you at a certain point. Iowa State Farmers, I like this though. I like them sticking around our competition. Q Requaz though tells me that this is Sac State, but Kamal Yavuz, return of Turkish God, legend out of, he's not out of Europe. I don't know if he's out of Europe. Anyways, Bass Liath is dead. It's gonna be up to Bofer and a Dream. Currently with just 100 health, it's a simple finish for Kamal Yavuz. That is Iowa State. Has never not been Iowa State. We might be primed and ready for an Iowa dub, but we're going to have to take a look and see. Blueberry, my main man, welcome back to the broadcast. It is always fantominal to see you. What a legend. All right. Sorry, had to check something. Remind me if I forget after this game to get a water. Now, guys, Zephyr hates this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I know some of you like it. I know 2-3's out there. He's praising this kind of zone finish. I hate Skyhook endgames. Skyhook, you want to know why I hate Skyhook endgames? Because you get all 18 teams alive, all 16, 17 teams alive, playing the exact same POI, and it is pure chaos, all right? You know what? You're going to see a couple of snipes here. You're going to see some incredible shots from the Giggler with that Sentinel. It's going to mean nothing. Nobody crosses the distance. Nobody fights. Everybody's pumping for a charge, dropping for a bit. But nobody wants to give up their real estate, okay? It's a prime market, okay? This is prime content. What do you mean? You want to know what I mean? End of the day, I got one observer. One observer. This is also why I hate this. No matter what, I will not be able to capture it all. And I want to capture it all. I want to try and see the whole damn picture. It becomes a snipe fest, and it is pure chaos. By the way, I have no idea how Fisher Esports are down to a solo. Okay? I'm taking over, so now we like Skyhook games. Subphobia! Get out of here. Take Fisher out. There's a couple fans that may disagree with you, Jess and Jord. All right? You got some time to settle your differences with the love and faith of those around you. And there's some Fisher fans in chat. All right? Albeit Fisher are a solo, there is one thing that Fisher know well, and it is the edge of zone. Southern Mississippi, though, I like this. This is a Southern Mississippi classic. They'll take away the center spire of Skyhook. And that's going to be a wipe of 2 against Cumberland. Cumberland are down to 1 remaining member here. Popping on over to Bellevue. They're put back together. VOD pays his prices for just a second, and VOD is A-okay. A nice snipe onto Turbo, and Ferris Crimson, you should have finished him while you had a chance. Mikey's out to the inside of Lava Siphon, and Bellevue's quickly got to turn themselves around. Eternal Dragon, thank you for the follow here. Bellevue, they've got the choke on the side, and that, albeit was a threat, is no longer a third party to their situation. Turbo's going to get full thirsted there, and my God, Jukesy from all the way on the side makes that Hemlock look like a hit scan. That's because it is. I don't know why I just said that. Anyways, Vattery will get knocked by FPS Aether. Nice charge rifle. This is another knock against VOD. The full blast away, and Bellevue. Again, no Vattery. Now, what looked good, we hyped it up a little too much. Iowa State Farmers will arrive. They'll send Jukesy packing, and Bellevue are down to 1 remaining member, and it's none other than Muffins. Baltica, no giveaway? This man, can you guys believe this guy missed the giveaways? We've done 3. We did 2 before this game. You're just gonna have to stick around, Baltica. Remember, every time a team hits 24 points, we do a $10 Apex giveaway. I think that's more fun than doing it every game, and I think it's fun for you guys to cheer on a team. Whether you like a team or not, whether you like a state, at least you can cheer on a team for getting aggressive. All right. Fisher, Iowa, Calgary, Bellevue, Ferris State Crimson, and UCSD. That's a lot of names. A lot of names are not in zone right now. I mean, we'll see how they set themselves up here. Southern Mississippi, they've got the high ground play for Skyhook. And as we zoom in, I want to make this clear. Skyhook has territory. Skyhook has very good territory. Now, you don't have the Valkyrie anymore, okay? You're not getting a free scan to tell if a building is available. Okay? But you've got to be careful. GG's, I was there for the Coopster one. Baltica, if it makes you feel better, your name was in the mix for that one. I wonder if it pulls closer to tunnel. Solaria Lunaris, I like those tunnel finishes. You know? Out in the open, no more buildings. I think those are some of my favorite finishes for Skyhook because it forces people to exit much earlier. All right. 19 squads in, and guys, I would be absolutely shocked if I see less than 17 here on round 4. Round 3, maybe. It's gonna take pure chaos with a couple squads like Fair State and Bellevue going down because they're rats. But Cumberland, they're still a solo as well. Bellevue hasn't put themselves back together. It's no better for Fisher. Elixirs is single-handedly utilizing his entire minigun. And you know what? You can't stop him. FaZe just got a knock on to Howl against Temple. It means nothing. Temple will get a revive. UCSD, they're flying on in. Some would say it's late. I'd say it's just in the nick of time. Shout out to the FaZe, though. Another knock on to Howl, and Temple, they could be eliminated here. Albeit, I mean, they already got the reset. It was a port play. UCF Knights are not moving. Okay, they got the full thirst on a Howl. That could be the difference maker. I know sometimes these teams don't like to fight in Skyhook, but this would be the opportunity. You have a 2v3. I mean, you are at an advantage. Bellevue has revived. They coming out of Monument, and Fisher's going to be gatekeeping because Fisher knows that they just saw that ship there in Monument. There is no way that Fisher let this one slide. You're going to have to pray for Bellevue if you love the Bruins. Texas A&M, they're in zone. What can I say? They're in zone. Look at it. Guys, look at that. The entirety of Skyhook's in zone. Let's take a look at Bellevue because, like I said, mother is lying in wait. You've come home drunk from the bar. It's 2 a.m. and she's worried for her son. And you know that chair is scary. A full dive here. Bellevue's not healthy. Jukesy and Muffins and down. And while, yes, it is Voddery on this other side, Fisher Esports are far more healthy. It's barely a fight. Bellevue, they never stood a chance, right? Coming right out of Monument, they didn't even get the opportunity to heal. Well, Fisher should be officially on match point. We'll have to count the rest of our chickens, hopefully not before they hatch, as they will develop here as time goes on. Temple Cherry, as a duo, tried to work their way back into Countdown to play for a reset, and they run right into ISU, who has been a benefactor of so many rosters here. They found their wipes against Bellevue and now turned their attention to the duo ahead. Iowa State, though, they kind of lose it. St. Clair Saints, the only saving grace is that, you know what? It is what it is. Group T got a hit, though. Yikes. Oh. Chad is not liking the Group T performance right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Relatable spray? We're not here to be relatable. We're here to be champions, Dream. Either way, Iowa is in. Couple of last-minute rotates. Shout out to Carvester there. That's going to be knock on to Golden. Schmalz finds it on to Sykin, and I believe that is the Cumberland wrap. University of Calgary, the follow-through on to Fisher here. Fisher still loss of 1. There is no lifeline reset, and Calgary are going to look for more. Remember, though, this is not a roster you want to tussle with separate. Slothulas and Dom 2 Cracked are more than enough to finish the job. Who do you have winning? Yesterday, I predicted USM. So far, it does not look like a USM victory, but Calgary, they don't look like they're in victory stance either. That's going to be a knock. Fisher's got the 2v2, and Zone is going to force them in. It's a beautiful drill from Slothulas there. A beam on the edge of the box, and now the Zone will force you to compete whether you want to. The triple take turns into the shotgun that it is, and it's up to Dom 2 Cracked. Oh, that lifeline revive is pressure, though, and it's one simple pick for Fisher to wipe out our Canadians. 17 squads left. 17. Bellevue, Calgary are 2 of those rosters. I apologize, I do not remember the 20th. 17 squads remain. Now, this is going to be the Western Poll. St. Clair, Iowa State, Minnesota, UCF Knights, Temple, Ferris State Crimson. We are talking about an onslaught of teams that are still available. Who do you have winning? Best legend in the game? Fuse. I love Fuse. Is he the best legend competitively? No. Is there going to be a Fuse heirloom event that I need you guys to fund with your subscriptions? Yes. All right. You not Fuse? You guys are cringe. You guys are cringe. Best legend in the game for casuals, though, I would say. Like, just for the casual enjoyer? Probably Wraith. Everyone loves Wraith. It's easy. Mikey will be caught out, and that's it. Just subbed for 10 years and dropped a Galaxy. Incredible. Impeccable, Wrath. Wrath, that's the type of stuff that allows me to eat rice and chicken every day and spend all my money on heirlooms. Actually, scratch the chicken. Too expensive. We eat only ground beef. Actually, scratch the ground beef. That's protein. Scratch the rice. We eat water with vitamins. Actually, I asked Twitter yesterday, can I eat dog food and get rid of my food? Because I really like dog food. And the answer is no, it's not nutrition enough. But I really disagree. I think dog food and cat food is more than enough. Anyways, Wrath, thank you for the follow. Ottawa Pioneers, they're in a perfect position to capitalize on the remnants of Fisher there. Granted, they're still in it. Sparrow's ultimate will be dropped from afar, and it is not Ottawa who tries to pressure him out there. I don't know who's pressuring him out. Ultimately, Fisher will survive, and if they have that banner, the building for respawn is available. Problem is, Fisher does not have a position in zone, and we are still 16 squads up here. Fisher's got barely a fence line. Temple are down to a duo. And I cannot believe I am saying this. We have 16 squads alive. 16 squads are alive here for a round 5. It's chaos. It's the end of times. The apocalypse is nigh. If you guys disagree with my kibble take, you simply do not know the struggles of food and how good dog food and cat food is. It is delicious. Texas A&M, Purdue, UT Tyler. These are a couple of teams that are actually in a decent spot. Fisher Esports, they'll join in as one of our first teams eliminated. They will walk away with some good KP after their wipes against Bellevue. Eat some on stream then? That is incredibly easy to do. If we have a moment where we get a reset in the lobby, I'll eat some because I literally eat it every time I feed my cat. Every single time. Well, Southern Mississippi is going to be on that high ground. Guys, I'm just going to level with you. I have no idea. I have literally no idea how anybody is going to survive this South rotate in. We like to try to prime up in position and see what teams are going to be the most successful. The reality is it's going to be an onslaught. Iowa State, they find themselves with neighbors that want a piece of the action just as quickly. Little knock there. St. Clair Saints are burned on the back. Got a couple of shots, and I'll tell you what, ISU, with the full dive on their side, are unable to wipe out SCC, and Group T will fall instead. There's no time for Group T. Leave him behind. He is going to die. Rest of Kamal and Not Koryu are just as quickly walking their way in as a duo. Kamal Yavuz, one remaining member. St. Clair are out. Cumberland are here to capitalize. The kill feed explodes with passion as Cumberland faces their first knockdown. Teams like the ISU Farmers will be wiped out. Ottawa's got the majority of that KP against Cumberland. The rest of these teams are down to the top 10. Minnesota's got a couple of snipes on the fence line, and the rest of these teams are playing with what barely space they can consider home. UCF Knights are struggling up above. There's the extension for Minnesota, and the Ottawa Pioneers will fall just as quickly. Like Solaria said, over half of these teams are almost gone. Kennesaw, Minnesota, UCSD, and RIT on the south side. Texas A&M, Southern Mississippi, UT Tyler, and Purdue Black on your north side. You got 4 on either edge of zone here. Now, granted, no one's in a good spot. The fences on the south side will only be in for a second. The fences up north on the spire will barely be available. Southern Mississippi, they've got high ground and they can make a claim to wherever they want to play. But I cannot imagine they will survive continuous fighting. RIT Orange, the minute they peek out is the minute they get shot down by Purdue from afar. A shot in the back will wipe them out as UCSD at least is a pickup of their KP, but Kennesaw Black are just as quickly rotating in through the wall and looking for a full set finish of the southern side. If Kennesaw wipes out this southern side completely next to Minnesota, they could win this game because Purdue, the likes of Minnesota or USM, Texas A&M are all on the same side. Grab's got a double knock against Minnesota, and it's because Minnesota overpeak their fence line. Minnesota are gone, and Kennesaw are the only Southern team left alive. Texas A&M, a walkout is spelled with Rampart shields. Purdue has jumped forward. They built themselves a cut of zone with the Catalyst wall, but it is far too early. The Boilermakers will meet their end as UT Tyler take the fence line to the outskirt. Kennesaw is waiting right here on the edge. Aspero's ultimate is tried, but instead, it's Kennesaw just making what they can do with the utility. The only team we don't know about is USM, and we see Purdue find themselves with nowhere to run. Darquisha Callis, one remaining member, burns in full thirst around the back. Kennesaw, they have to start to look out here over towards the edge. Southern Miss do not survive the drop. Texas A&M are no healthier. The real question is, how is UT Tyler? Tyler is healthy. Kennesaw is fighting. Why would you pick a Rampart shield? A full thirst is a trade of 2, and UT Tyler make goofy mistakes. We are solos versus solos versus solos. USM are going to try for revive in the center of zone. UT Tyler and Kennesaw are too low, and University of Southern Mississippi are the only 2 healthy. Tyler will go down, but USM will take their crown. Southern Mississippi, right from above, almost wiped out, but able to put themselves back together in the last minute. I don't know what Tyler was doing. I have no idea why Tyler went and dived into a Rampart shield, but they had that game and they made a stupid mistake. Scoreboard. Let's check if you guys have earned a giveaway here. Game number 5, 23 points. Sadly, this is not eligible for a giveaway. We are slightly underneath, but hey, 23 points for Southern Mississippi. I see the water, by the way, Blueberry. I will get a water. Kennesaw with 15, 11 for UT Tyler, 9 for Ottawa, Texas A&M a tie, 7-7-7 there. I asked you guys before this game, how many teams will reach match point? The answer is 1. Also, I got to read this summary because someone just made out like a bandit. Congratulations to Fisher Esports. They are the first team to reach match point. No surprise there. And they are the only team to reach match point. We do not have a break in between games, so I cannot eat the cat food. Maybe after the stream. I will say, I don't know why that's so odd. It's literally just a pellet that's like salted and tastes good. Anyways, congratulations to our winners on the predictions. Soares and Pabisi just won 6,000 points for Soares and 3,000 points for Pabisi. Everybody else is your biggest loser. Here we go. I'll start a prediction. Zach Wheeler, thank you for the follower. These customs know this is a $2,000 collegiate vinyl. Your question for the prediction is very simple. Will Fisher end it here? Remember, they are now match point eligible. That means if they win this game, they are guaranteed to end the whole composition. The leaderboard freezes, and that is it. I'm going to go. Love the stream. Take care. Don't forget the word. Blueberry, thank you for being here. Everybody else, it's a 1 to 20 bet. 5 minutes on the board. Get it in. Renosolations, thank you for the follow. And with that, Kennesaw needs 2, Bellevue needs 5, Cumberland needs 5, 9 is necessary for Minnesota, and OY, you need to give me 5 subs. Thank you so much. It's a little bit of an agreement between the two of us, but hey, it's still subs. Thank you, Lexus, Lucky, Oisicle, Orlatso Senchos, Osandra, and Renosolations. Thank you, and welcome to the Zephyr family. Davey Dorco, thank you for the 100 bits here. OY, I got your name out in red. Here we go. Are we going to play? Yes. We'll see if the rest of the teams can catch up, but more importantly, I hope you guys have become, we'll say, maybe the biggest Fisher fans or maybe the biggest Fisher haters. I'm going to go grab a water and maybe some cat food. I don't care. Okay. Yo, Sleep King! I come back and I got 5 subs from you. Sleep King, thank you so much. Talk about a special day. Solaria Lunaris! I can't keep up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sleep King. Solaria Lunaris, I know you're on here. I just gotta find it. Oh, there you are at the bottom in purple. Guys, thank you so much for the subs. You make this worth it every single step of the way. That hype train is getting even more hype. There you go, Solaria. Extra underlines. By the way, no one dies in the early game, so I'm just going to show you guys this. Here is cat food. It tastes... It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Get out of here. It's mine. The boy doesn't know Papa needs to eat too. We've lost the plot. It genuinely tastes so good. Hey, Sleep King! There you go. There you go, Callum. Friend of the family and a guaranteed sub at that. Oh, I almost marked Sleep King with the wrong one. There you go, Sleep King. Another underline. Lewis, I don't have any more. I ate it all. It's gone.
Enemy right here.
Check. It's gone. It's gone. All right. Gosh. Greedy. Couple of big shots here, and it's a... I mean, come on. Come on. When have we ever not seen Fisher win the Old Town fight? University of Tyler. I respect it. I respect them pushing in. Fisher, new comp? Fisher's not playing Lifeline. Fisher's not playing Lifeline. Partizzi. Thank you so much for the sub, my man. I know you're on here as well. I don't think I have time to check it. Lewis doesn't give death glares. Lewis gives love. He's a good boy. Oh, I should drink the water. That's probably why he's so obsessed with me right now. He can still smell it. You know what sucks? I really want more cat food. Iowa State Farmers far and away from getting to match point. They started with a dub earlier today in game 2, but have been unable to replicate that success. Now is a duo here, trying to put themselves back together in the city. Well, the majest of our teams are still keeping this just as competitive. Holy, I knew if he wasn't on Lifeline, I would have voted ending this game. Dom is a little tricky, Benny. I don't think I've ever seen them do this. Fisher have learned and they have come to play. The problem is, guys, it is a trick that will only work one time. Fisher have one chance, because right now, if Fisher do not deliver a win here, one, other teams are on match point. Right now, they do not have to worry about anybody else. Two, people will realize Fisher were in their game and they were not playing Lifeline because it's such a big deal. Right now, everyone is playing. They're not in comms, they're not on streams, they're delayed. It is going to take... I mean, this is the biggest chance they've ever had to pull it off. Not after one game switch back to Lifeline. I mean, it could be good. It could be. Now, Zone is a little bit indescript right now. Temple Cherry, though, they're a bit indescript in terms of their survivability. Simplicity and Luxinio. I mean, what can you do? A full send right alongside you. Simplicity's at half health and a bun. That's going to be the Sheila wiping you out. And Ferris State Crimson finally looks like a real team. Mikey will get dropped in return there from Sloshy Medusa, and that lets us know that UCF is also nearby. I like the Rampart wall setup, and I like the quick reset onto Mikey. You got the heal in the battery, and Temple Cherry, because of that, will last. Ottawa Pioneers, another failure of the Ottawa roster. Couple of drops here on the side for UCSD, and there's a massive knock. Guys, thank you for the hype train. A level 5 hype train. Genuinely, you don't know how much it means to me. No, FPSA, you don't know how much this means to them. Sadly, Carvester already ran away. I think that's going to be the big difference there. Tries to set them up. And I mean, it's the full thirsts. Texas A&M are not that far, though, I will say. They are fairly close to the exchange. No, you Grap and Arc could potentially rotate into this, but it's not a real third party. They've left them stay for too long. Is this Collegiate? Sawyer? Yes, it is. We are currently in our match point finals. Right now, Fisher Esports are match point eligible. That means they can win the tournament and walk away with $1,000 in prizing here if they win this game. If you don't like Fisher, you kind of pray they lose. Texas A&M versus UCSD. A full rotate and a burn on to Hadawin. I mean, quick thing. If this continues, do you think teams start leaving for PSQs? They have to. Yes. Teams like USM 100. OI, Fisher wins 1K. If Fisher wins, they win 1K. There's still other prize pools. The whole prize pool is 2,000, but Fisher wins 1K by being first. One of the Fisher guys is a Scrim Griefer. I hope he loses. There we go. Fisher haters in chat. Sadly, Ninja, there's a long-range knock on to Kalisk, and Fisher's already continuing to look good. Not to mention, they have the Pole of Zone. Now, granted, this is more stereotypical to be a draft point finish, so they still have to work their way in, but they do have a pole. Do they have any real college players? Yeah, Sloth. Sloth started on the UCF Knights in Central Florida. He was brought on to Fisher because he was so good in Collegiate, they wanted him to make his own roster. He started in Collegiate, though, right? So he's as real as anybody else. He is probably one of the most legendary players in all of Collegiate. His history and his time in college, I mean, we've seen him continue to excel as one of the best fraggers for years. Granted, things are starting to get a little bit of outpaced with pro league teams and pro players starting to get in the mix. But for a long time, when someone asked you who's the best fragger in Collegiate, the answer was definitively and obviously Sloth. I mean, that's Sloth. My top 5 is Sloth, and Uber. You know what? That's a good list. UCSD, Texas A&M. These guys are still playing Edge. If you wonder why in a match point finals these teams are playing Edge, it's because they need to catch up, right? They need to pick up as much KP as they can. Fisher Esports, they're going to be playing Southside Gatekeepers. I would be shocked if the zone continued to pull down here. I think it's going to go up more north. If the zone continues to pull towards the south, it is scripted. Golden with a knock on to Luxino. Couple of snipes around the other side. Dom takes a little bit of health here, but Temple Cherry, they're really no happier here on the edge. Fisher Esports quickly, I mean, not so quickly, but just being so careful to walk up on this one. They know they can wipe this team, but they also know they need to win this game to end the tournament. So they're being uncharacteristically less aggressive. Bellevue University, though, just entered the shipyard. And you gotta hope you've got yourself prepped and ready for that fight, because Fisher Esports, you can't play it paced. When Bellevue arrives and they want to take it to you here on the eastern end of Shipyard, you better fight it like you are Fisher. Now, Kennesaw State Black, they're investing in a position in zone that is more stereotypical for this finish, right? Western Outlaws, they're right there alongside them. These two buildings right on the edge of the road, they typically convert very, very well into draft point finishes. 100. Fisher getting scanned by Bellevue. I'm telling you right now, Fisher's going to play this too respectful, and Bellevue's going to wipe him. 23 and a full send, a dive down below. Fisher's already a knock of one. Slothulas have been caught out, and a chance of winning is slipping away. Fisher, that was their one opportunity to get a knock response here. Bellevue is going to heal this up, and with that Seer ultimate down, unless these vert nades are blessed from God above, you need success. Juxi, just as quickly as he is knocked, Muffins is there for the reset. Voddery is climbing back up. And Bellevue, even when they are pressured, are still finding success. Your only saving grace for Fisher is to out-survive and pray someone comes to shoot Bellevue from out above of the shipyard. Fisher are still a duo. You can see them trying to launch away here. Golden will stick around, and it is up to Dom to crack. As a solo, Dom has to pull this roster together alone, but Bellevue is not going to let it slide. I don't know if Odd knows it. I have no idea if this man has figured it out, but he is not going to let them run for free. Wingman shots and a dream. If Vod wipes it here, We are going to another game. What did I say? I called it. This is a huge opportunity now for teams. Remember, in match point, you gotta win when you are 60 points up. That right there was Fisher's prime moment, alone in the dregs. Now other teams will be match point eligible. We'll say goodbye to UCSD. Cumberland will get a quick snipe against them there. And it is going to be Texas A&M who finds that final shot instead of Southern Mississippi. It is a draft point finish. And I will say, I want to make this explicit. Even if Fisher were still in this game, look at this poll, guys. To work your way into draft out of Shipyard, it was going to be hard no matter what. Okay? Fisher's out, PD first. We're going one more game. We will not end it here on E-District. Western Outlaws, Kennesaw, UCF Knights. They currently host the best positions in zone. But as everybody knows, draft becomes absolutely chaotic here as we fight for a final finish. Woo! Vatari with the wingman. I'll tell you what, he's heard the shots, he's heard the pressure, and he knows this Bellevue roster has come alive. Sac State Esports, they already take the huge brunt of those first wingy shots. I hope they've healed. I hope those piercing spikes will slow Bellevue down, because here comes the scan. Bellevue, they're going to ego it. They know it's blue shields. Little do they need the shots to start this one off. They know they have a 75 health advantage against Sac State, and Bellevue isn't scared of a single roster in Collegiate. Now, Sac State, that's a smart decision. Keep that one running, all right? Out and over towards Purdue. You know, it's your Dreamcast. You might be right. Purdue just got to pull it to that zone, and Sac State will set themselves up next to them. Looks like Ferris State Crimson, never the benefactor. Always the failure. I love the mobile shield being used against them. Mikey's protection becomes his grave. A box for him here on the bridge. A motorcycle vehicle. 85 from up above from Viz and USM. The only thing I'm worried about is making sure they're healthy here. A quick follow through from anybody does not happen, and well, looks like they're going to be okay. 12 squads remaining. Purdue Black and Sac State right next to each other in the same building. As we talked about a little bit earlier, this is the open-end finish. You're going to have to play this one, depending on the poll, right there in the water. You got the buildings up north, you got that little cylinder out towards the east, and you got the buildings down south. Usually, the buildings do not last in round 6. You are pulled out from them, and it is going to be whoever controls it. Time to beat. Now, I will say, surviving in the buildings will at least get you to a top 5, top 6, top 7. I mean, that's definitely the place to play if you want to work your way into some placement. Granted, you got Texas A&M, Southern Mississippi, and Calgary, albeit Calgary's a solo dolo. They're going to try to compete for the same position here. A little snipe from Purdue, and that could be Bellevue. University of Calgary, I said their name, and I probably shouldn't have. Yeah. Minnesota State Mavericks is actually a team we just saw, and Bellevue University is going to be catching them on the other side. Aspero's ultimate is all but too short, and Bellevue, with the mobile shield, could very quickly jump on in here. Big beams over on the edge. That's the flex that Bellevue need. They've got the blast to go with it, and Vaught and the rest of the Bellevue roster are happy to slide into the building that has gotten them here. 11 squads remaining, and it was only Calgary that was finished off on this close. Purdue, Sac State, Bellevue, St. Clair, and yes, the teeniest edge of Minnesota are your participating teams here to try to fight this one out. St. Clair Saints will say goodbye to Rusty G, a legend on that roster, but unable to breach the top 10. Western Outlaws and the rest of these teams that have been playing the building for so long. We're talking Kennesaw, RIT, Southern Mississippi. This will become your grave, your end in the watery depths below. Granted, choking in a puddle is never the way I want to see you go out. Wheezy is golden. A true fan of Fisher Esports. Thank you so much for the subscriber and a 2-month streak. Remember, folks, get your subscriptions in, because tomorrow I'm going to be checking who's subbed to the channel, and everybody who has 3 concurrent months of subscription will be getting their own Zephyr postcard. I know, incredible, albeit I actually think it's a pretty cool thing. So, get your subscriptions in. If you don't have those 3-month subs up, This is the chance to do it. Permafrost, thank you for the follow. 10 squads out, 3 seconds to go. Did RJ gift 700 subs? He gifted 330. The Zephyr what? The Zephyr postcard. All of my subs who have been concurrent members for 3 months will receive a Zephyr specialized postcard if they are so willing to have it sent to them. Western Outlaws, though, let me lock in, folks. They're going to be the first to fall here into our top 10. Teams like Bellevue are quick to gatekeep those that are out from the buildings. Texas A&M Maroon, a wrap over from the side, and it's going to be Kennesaw State Black here, just as quickly picked off by Bellevue for a thirst. One remaining member of the Owls, and as silent as they fell, they will hit the ground with a thud. Bellevue have done a great job capitalizing on the exterior here. And while there will be a couple of falls as they turn to the Tigers, they become hunters on the edge. UCF Knights down to just Sloshy. We say goodbye to RIT. It's up to USM to pick up where they can here because they need all the points. Sac State, Minnesota, and Purdue are your top 3 teams on the outside. Bellevue University, though, I want to make this clear. They are the only team playing the exterior of this building. Remember, Sac, Purdue, Minnesota, they're probably going to have to play against each other before they ever get to fight Bellevue. A Sparrow start from Minnesota, a dive behind the counter, and Beaufort and Bass Live are putting in punishment. A full beam as Purdue will drop from up above and finish their problems where they stand. Southern Mississippi, whether they know it or not, are stopping Bellevue in their tracks from punishing Purdue. A revive has just come from up above for Bellevue University, and while USM have survived to the top 3, a crack from Jukesy, and maybe Muffins around the back should be able to end them. We got a 3v3 finish. Purdue is here. A 150 knock on the Jukesy, and Purdue has the numbers advantage. Muffins in VOD till the end. Scans on either side. One down below there, and a couple of Mozambiques. Another Kraber knock for Tharquisha, and in a 3v1 exchange. While Vattery is good, he is not excellent. Tharquisha out to the side, a peek into the corner. No one is there. Vod is low, a dive below. Final Kraber shot. 1, 2, 3. Purdue blacked. Let me see it in chat. I want to see the hashtags. You know what to say. Purdue with their first win of the day. Bunya Silvers, thank you for the follow. There it is. There it is. Player team's fight song. What team? What team? Johnny, you're going to have to let me know. Let's pop on that scoreboard while we have a chance. We got some time here. Rigatoni, thank you so much for the subscription. We're having a great time today. UCF Knights fight song is absolutely hilarious, but you redeemed the points, so that's what counts. Here we go. UCF Marching Knights. Enjoy it while we go over the scoreboard here. All right. DC, thank you for the follow. Let's take a look at our scoreboard because who is on match point? Whoa! 1/4 of our lobby has now ascended the ranks and it's joined in at the top here. Congratulations. This game, it was a 22-point dub for Bellevue. There will be no giveaway. They need to hit 24 for a giveaway. Bellevue University at 77 has taken the lead. Fisher at 69. Kennesaw at 64. 61 for Minnesota State Mavericks. 60 for Cumberland University. Southern Mississippi are not quite there. If Southern Mississippi had been more put together as a roster, had been more present in some of that KP, they would have hit the 60-point minimum. All right, let's ask, who wins? Who will win, or who wins Game 7? Will it be Bellevue, a winner of the Proton, but unable to find stage victory? Will it be Fisher, the most aggressive, but unable to find match point? Will it be KSU Black, a team with a long history of a successful college, but representing from JV to varsity for the first time this year, Minnesota State Mavericks, a team that is well known in the most H4P of anybody, and hunting for that victory, or Cumberland, who took a dub in NECC earlier this split. Or will it be someone else? Here you guys go. 5 minutes on the board. Get your bets in. What if it's not anybody else? It's someone else. Bloom Dion. There you go. Hey, Bloom. Good to see you, Bloom. Thank you so much for the subscription, Bloom. And not just that, thank you for being subscribed for 2 months. I hope you enjoy your new hat. I like my little cowboy hats. You've evolved. You've gone from the brown to the beige. It's just a little addition. It's just for fun. All right. Each of these rosters have entered stage 2 with their individual storylines, and there are still a fantastic set of teams that can win any given game. Right now, 3 wins have appeared within our top 5, and 3 wins have come through from the bottom 15. It is no guarantee that Cumberland, Minnesota, Kennesaw, Fisher, or Bellevue win. We just saw Southern Miss and Purdue deliver dubs. There's a chance. There's a chance for anybody to keep us going. Let's go, Southern Miss. Let's go, Zendikar. That right there is an official stamp. Your postcard will be glorious. I'll do my best. I'll make sure it's nice and pretty because you've just earned yourself it after being subscribed for 3 months to us here over on Zephyrcast. All right, folks, I will not dilly-dally anymore. Our drops are underway. Everybody is through. We have officially made it to Game 7. Now, there are 20 squads to start, but I do want to make something clear. Today is PSQs as Bloom Dion, who is now an official Zephyr sub. Once again, PSQs will be taking place later today, and we know for a fact that when some of these teams like USM have to go start playing PSQs, being in PSQs is more important to USM right now than it is this competition. There's $2,000 of prizing on the line, but USM are only a click away from being a part of history, from becoming the very first college team in Pro League. And you know what? Whether you love them or not, you got to support them. Tamu Maroon is at checkpoint, as is written. Fiddle, dude, it's a different era. It's a different team. I mean, you know what? Right now, exclamation point now, Texas A&M Maroon 11th with 25 points. Their best performance was a 7-point game, 4th place finish. You know what? They're not one of the 9 worst teams in the lobby. They are struggling. Better than you predicted us? True, true. I'm a harsh critic. But, you know, I have to be. I don't technically have to be. I just am. For those who don't know, I used to coach Texas A&M. I stopped coaching them here last year. And I'm going to be their biggest critic no matter what. University of Calgary. Here they are. University of Texas Tyler. I mean, this is not a team that has stood up to any of the rosters that have pushed them. Not a single squad has ever been able to survive. University of Calgary, it's 3 free KP, guys. I mean, really, that's it. It's all said and done. We're settled out here. Let's take a look at Temple Cherry, because I just heard something I can't believe I'm listening to. There is a Bloodhound available. I apologize. We have not talked about the Legend Bands right now. But clearly, they're putting in some serious work, because Bloodhound has appeared. I don't know if it's comfort or what it is, or if it's recon bands. It is what it is at this point. All right? Can't believe they took a spot. Yeah, it's true. I would have liked to have seen Purdue, Austin Poe, but hey, they earned it. UTT was playing Bloodhound. They're just as quickly removed as they were participating. Okay? All right. Let me pull up my phone real quick. I need to keep the leaderboard going here, or else I'm gonna go crazy. Especially for match point finals. There we go. I'll try to keep track of all of our match point teams as we fight our way through the lobby. Right now, all of them are still alive. We tune in with Minnesota State Mavericks, one of our match point teams here. Edge of zone. Oh, I hate Cedo Station. This is a tough finish. You are going to be out in the open. We'll see how they'll fare. Cumberland University, another one of our match point teams. 60 points, just barely on the cusp. They got a little bit of capitalization on the evac tower, and they're happy to keep following this one through if it means wiping out the competition that stands in front of you. Now, there's a couple of snipes over towards that lagoon side. I don't know if that's Cumberland or someone else. Nice longbow shots from Future Streams there, but silly. Not able to get him before they pop into Jurassic. The door has closed. I would not be surprised if RIT keeps getting sent upon. Over under 4.5 teams, ring 6, over. RIT will be wiped out, and it's a piece of Texas A&M and a piece of Cumberland that finished the job there. That is going to be another one of our non-match point eligible teams wiped out. You don't want to see that if you want these games to keep going. You need to see Bellevue, Fisher, Kennesaw, Minnesota, and Cumberland get knocked out here. It's going to be a tough one. I'll be honest with you guys. If it doesn't end here, it's pretty much guaranteed to finish on Game 8. Oh, Calgary Exodus, they've got their own fight ahead. We saw them extend over to UT Tyler, and once again, this is non-match versus non-match. Purdue is falling here. We'll pop on over to the Ottawa Pioneers because they got a much more important fight. They've got Cumberland University coming on in here, slow from the Jurassic area, and while Ottawa is not match point eligible, they are a team that can fight Cumberland, especially if they get Future Streams down there. Future is just to give help. A dive from Sykin. That'll be the Sykin knock on to Reap. Future is low, and you gotta hope Ottawa are gonna peek this out because this is just time in the tank to heal it up. Future's already back over to a full bat. Ottawa Pioneers sitting on the blues. Calgary will wipe out ISU. Cumberland's one last med kit away, and honestly, that was your chance when Fisher was low, or Cumberland was low. Future Stream's got the riot drill on to Reap. Problem is, someone's pulled up here on the edge of Cedo. And from that high ground, this is actually going to save Ottawa Pioneers' life. Cumberland University, though, they only drop away to get out of the damage. Reap will get a re-knock, and it's another drill from Future Streams right in the midst of the med kip. A little bunny hop there, and we'll see if Cumberland continues to thrive. Okay. All right, we're taking the grav cannon. We've set ourselves up for marginal recovery. That grav cannon, it's still a round one close, and honestly, you're going to survive. I'd be very surprised if Cumberland negative rotate this. Bellevue University, though, our #1 team in the lobby, they were the team to gatekeep out of Jurassic. Southern Mississippi. Man, it has just not been their day. I mean, right now, they're in 6th place with 52. It's not a bad start, but it ain't the University of Calgary down to a duo, and UCSD right alongside them. It's up to FPSA. They're from behind the rampart wall to finish the job, but I'm Rumbly. He's got Sheila's of his own. Massive burns, and Calgary are finished out from the heavy minigun. Gotta say, the rest of these rosters are completely blistering each other. Problem is, not a single match point eligible team has fallen yet. There is a 33% chance we are going to see the games end here now. It used to be 25, and it is a rising. Southern Mississippi, a team that only needs 8 points, will maybe find themselves eliminated here just outside of the lagoon. That scan or whatever, Fisher Esports is going to chase them down. That's all you need to know. Zephyr's going to take a little bit of a water break. Limbox, Kindly Monkey, the rest of Kennesaw, Temple Cherry, and everybody else here in Cedo Station. These are non-match point eligible teams. Minnesota State Mavericks is playing that southern end. Will USM even play the next game? I don't think so. I think USM needs to prioritize PSQs. There's a lot of teams that could potentially drop out. This probably is going to have to be the deciding game. USM did get away from Fisher. We saw the knock on to Bellevue, but because of the distance here on Cedo Station, That is going to be Bellevue recovering here over towards the edge. Cumberland is going to wrap them from behind as we'll pop on over to the south side of zone. Couple of shots here over onto Ottawa. Once again, non-match point versus non-match point.
Target close.
It is looking less and less likely that we will be going to another game. For Ottawa, you got to hope they have an evac, albeit I would say probably not an evac. That being said, though, they're actually a lot healthier than I thought. Sac State Esports, I don't know if they know what's coming towards them because just as quickly as they've defended, you've got Ottawa pulling up. Kennesaw State Black, match point, currently playing that farthest northern side of Seatoad Station. I would be very surprised if this one works out for them. Mad Maggie Balls with a blast to boot here. That's going to be the wingman to blister as they bleed. Ottawa Pioneers, I mean, just as quickly as they arrive is just as quickly as Sac State dies. One final remaining member, and that's got to be Raquaz. Ottawa, though, from the other side. Raquaz versus RJ. I'm more happy to pick up on RJ for the dub. Little dive around the edge, and you're literally just playing for life. Not a single shot sustained, and finally, RJ takes about 90 damage there. Still, heal for heal, a 1v1 from either end. Ottawa's gonna stick the heal, and Raquaz, if you're not sticking one, you've already lost. That's a 2v1 exchange, and UCSD are pulling up on the outskirts there. I don't know if they actually extend over towards this fight, or if they just let it happen. Couple of scans, Ottawa's back up in full, Raquaz dies, and that will be the end of Sac State. Just as quickly, though, as Utah finds success, it is going to be the full send from UCSD. They hear the shots, they hear the fight, and realistically, with Cloak sitting on just 40 health, it's a good beam on Lucian, but it's not enough. Two more non-match point eligible teams eliminated, and we are looking like a full finish is coming our way. Now, Fisher Esports right behind Cumberland. This might be the first squad eliminated for the success of match point here. Fisher, though, they could just as easily find a nice beam, take Cumberland out to Pound Town, and that'll be Cumberland wiped out, and maybe even Bellevue. Potentially third parties this one. We'll just have to wait and see. By the grace of their decision making, there's not a lot of options left here. Seatoad Station is looking further and further on that southern pole. Whoever wins this high ground could be very eligible to win the game. Right now, Bellevue, Cumberland, and Fisher are the closest teams here to picking this one up. Fisher knows how critical winning this fight against whoever's in front of them is. Southern Mississippi, though, I want to point this out. Little late rotate. They're coming through Jurassic. If Fisher Esports doesn't wipe this soon, USM are going to wrap this and potentially pinch them here, and Fisher will be eliminated not by decisions, not by their choice of fighting, but because they got caught out. I will say, at least Fisher has pushed Cumberland in and over towards the other side of the fence line. Minnesota, a long-range knock with a 3-0. UCF Knights with their own pressure. And because Cumberland decided not to fight this out, they lose everything. Slasher is going to try with all of his might, and with a nice snipe on the Sparrow, Bellevue's quickly moving in to finish what they believe could be a match point team. Cumberland is your first of 5 to go down here. Fisher, Kennesaw, Minnesota, and Bellevue are still in the hunt. Woodrow Wilson, thank you for being our president, and thank you for following. Southern Mississippi now into the edge of Jurassic. They need this KP if it means getting on to match point. And Fisher, well, they need to clean up their final fights here. It's a big beam, and Golden will take the trade, but Slothka's got the full thirst on to Thalys. A nice burn around the back with the drill to start the fight even further. Zach W. Keys and Viz forced to play the exact same corner. Golden will be picked up, but it's not by Fisher. It is UCSD for a third party. Lucian, though, just as quickly wiped out. Heroin from the other side. Dom 2 cracked will find success as Southern Mississippi are playing for reset. I'm rumbling UCSD. I don't know if they know what they're doing here, but they are helping us take to another game. Fisher Esports, your second of 5 wiped out. Bellevue, they're going to come on through the choke. But I don't know if he wants to completely dive that. He's going to turn his attention towards USM. But this high ground control, this entire eastern control of Bellevue is looking very good. We'll say goodbye to Texas A&M Maroon. And remember, Bellevue, Kennesaw, and Minnesota are eligible for... Okay, Kennesaw is dead. It's between Minnesota and Bellevue. These are the only two teams that can win or change us to match point. I think Bellevue should have held out Southern Miss, but the thing is, they're just losing the pace of play here. They lost the fight. Dallas is sliding down. Maybe a couple of snipes from far can save Bellevue, but hopefully they got these revives off. Southern Mississippi, yes, Bellevue is healthy. They've made the cross, though, and Southern wants to invest in this. There's the re-slam of the castle wall, and Bellevue could just as quickly peek to the outside here. They really don't want to let that height fall out to the wayside because it's so good for them, and wiping out Southern Mississippi would give Bellevue the chance to deliver a dub here. Muffins with a knock on to Viz, and everything bad I've ever said about Muffins, I take it away. Still, it's not the full thirst. USM are still in it. The zone is closing, though, so unless they get this reset, we might be seeing a full wipe. UCF Knights not too far away. They're taking the pyramid with Fair State Crimson also alongside them. Thankfully, this is actually helpful towards Bellevue. It's not the perfect finish, but remember, everybody's got teams next to them. For the likes of Bellevue University, I mean, having Fair State Crimson help pressure USM, that's the best gift you could hope for if it means winning this game. UCSD will take us one team lower, and that means there's a 25% chance Minnesota and Bellevue versus the world. Western Temple, SEC, UCF Knights, Fair State Crimson, and Southern Mississippi are the only other squads. I say only, they're the majority who could pick up the dub here. Bellevue permitted to rotate to the outside. It looks like USM had to give up this position. Yeah, they slid down into the water here. They did not have a choice. Bellevue has been gifted dominance, but Mikey will find a knock on Devad. The overcommit to the outside might come back to bite them here. Fair State Crimson, they got the burn while the revive has come through. It's a re-knock on Devadery. Fair State Crimson has shown us success, and they can show us more. A drill on the other end. A Mad Maggie ball to blast away the mobile shield. More damage from Pure as the catalyst wall might be enough. Castle walls giving them their safety. Fair State Crimson, that was their chance to wipe, and they will still try while they can. Muffins is low, but the battery and the heals has still delivered. Big Burns around the back. There's the flash for 17. Fair State Crimson are picked from the other side, and you have to imagine USM has come through here. Wheezy, thank you for the subscription. Yes, Dallas will help, and that is going to be Fair State Crimson. Down of one. Minnesota. We haven't talked about them enough. They are currently on the edge of zone. The plan ahead is chaotic. They have the Ash TP if it means getting to their next position. Maybe a slow walk. Maybe some extra KP as Temple Cherry are obliterated. They got Western just behind them, and they do need to wipe out Western here before moving forward. Granted, a catalyst wall will split the fight, and this should set up Minnesota for a very clean walk-in. Problem is, they've already moved into the very edge of zone. That's going to allow Western Outlaws to play above them if they so choose. Zach W. Keys double knocks against SCC. 7 squads, 6 squads remaining. Western Outlaws getting sniped out before they can beat Minnesota. Vaughn helps them survive. Minnesota, though, they are still oh so far on the edge. There's the flesh into the corner. Another blast from Goblin on top. Minnesota will go down, and we are into our top 4. Bellevue are the only other team that can deliver. Western will fall. UCF Knights are finished. It's Bellevue versus USM here. Can they pick up their first collegiate win? A car in the hands of Vaughn. An overpeak. He needs a shield swap. A mobile shield from Jukesy for cover. Southern Miss down below. And Bellevue has height advantage. USM are split. Bellevue are healthy. One bad peak here, and you are looking at your newest champions. 57 on a crack, and that split has not paid dividends yet. A piercing spikes on one side, a rotate, and Bellevue look dominant here for their dub. A nice break on the edge. And the problem is, the pylon is down, but between Pathfinder, Mad Maggie, and Watson on Storm Point, you do not have the safety you need. It's not the end of the world, but it's not the end of it all. Sounds down below. This has got the zip line. You move while you can. Both members of USM, 28 on the drop. They don't get the knock. That could have been it. USM still survived. Juxie is out rotating. Mobile shield down. There's the catalyst wall from Muffins. You hope they found the split. All to the left side. Vaughn is a little bit late and low. Vaughn could go down. His drop is weak. Everyone from Bellevue's fletch. USM step up here. Another drop. One last member. And University of Southern Mississippi. They will take us one more game. The throw is absurd. That was a spelled out victory for Bellevue. Their first delivery in one of our stages at Octane. One of the most hyped up rosters in all of Collegiate, and they could not do it. A quick refresh lets us know that yes, Southern Mississippi will join us in the top 6. It is going to be someone else. It was USM. Their second dub of the day, 76 points. And I think because of PSQs, they have to leave. 24 points though. Let's get a USM giveaway going here. Exclamation point giveaway in chat. They managed to do it. Right now, Western needs 12. UCF needs 23. Purdue Black needs 25, 30 for University of Calgary. Let me make my prediction here. Again, who wins game 8? We're on our way to Olympus. I can't believe it might be an Olympus N. Is it Bellevue? The Chokers? Is it USM? Don't bet on them. Do not bet. They are not here. I guess I'm not going to put USM. Is it Fisher? Is it MNSU? Is it Kennesaw Black? Or is it Cumberland? Or someone else? There you guys go. 5 minutes on the board. Get your predictions in. Look at those bands. Alter, Caustic, Crypto, Valkyrie, Wraith, Bang, Mad Maggie. You got a lot of controller options for Olympus. Thankfully, the Newcastle is still available going into the map. That's probably the biggest pickup there. Sparrow is also a very prime option. You should have known as soon as USM killed Fisher, they were going to win the lobby. Hey, there was a lot of tug and pull. All right, one giveaway. Here we go. I'm picking a winner. Congratulations to Metalhead_Gaming. You got to respond here in the next 30 seconds. 30 seconds, I'm watching. There you go, Metalhead. Please send me a message here on Twitch or at Discord at ZephyrCast, and I'll get you paid out after our stream. Congratulations on the 10 RP, and welcome to the ZephyrCast stream, of course. Congratulations. All right. We're going to game 8. We're reintroducing Olympus as we pop in game here. Is USM still here? USM is still here. I thought they were going to leave. I thought they were going to leave for PSQs. All right. They've had 2 wins on the day. They are the only team, I believe, to have double wins. I've been trying to tell you, they said they're going to int everyone for points and leave. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, USM have to leave. There's no way they're winning this game. It's just, PSQ start, like, in 7 minutes, maybe. I don't even know who else is playing PSQs. Maybe they skip one PSQ game? No, they do not. There is no chance. There's no chance USM are going to miss PSQs at all. They have to. Southern Mississippi is the most winningest team currently right now. Once again, I want to thank you guys for being here today. We've had a ton of fun, lots of giveaways, lots of love, lots of new followers, and hopefully I've made new fans of you when it comes to College Apex. Sadly, if this is your first time watching, you are joining us close to the end. That being said, we've still got to see how ECAC finishes. We've still got to see how Play Versus finishes. And we've still got to see how College Apex finishes for Split 2. That one actually a little bit better. I will say, San Antonio, you've got the College Apex finish. And then, of course, on the other side of the bracket, Ohio, Cincinnati, we've got the Octane, this competition. We've got the grand finals. ECAC will end in a movie. It'll end in one kind of movie. Could be a slasher film. You do not want to watch ECAC. Trust me, I think the playoffs will be delayed a week. I watch anything. I need content. It's my job. All right, Fisher Esports. Of course, back to the lifeline. No trickery ahead. And UT Tyler, they are the dogs of this lobby. You take them out for a walk, and you can feast or famine however you feel. They are simply chained and owned by just about anyone who wants to take them here. Fisher Esports, they already found a knock of one, and if I was UT Tyler, yeah, I would already be running away. Now, Texas A&M, they are not too far from the equation. That's going to be a full first from Fisher, and I don't know if Tamu are ratting or if Texas A&M is nearby. I don't know if Fisher... They definitely know this. Okay, they're getting the ball set back up. Golden and Dom, they're already trading on the other side. Slothulous to hide here as SCC will go down. Fisher's got a bit of a burn there, and Texas A&M have taken the height away from Fisher. Now, granted, little vert nade, and Noyu's getting double jump back up to the high ground. Quick battery almost immediately. And Dom to crack, Sloth and the rest are trying to set themselves back up. There's the double hop climb up, and behind the rampart walls is probably your best option. Grap, though, he feels the pressure, and the Aggies realize it's time to leave. Albeit, this is the most disjointed leaving I've ever seen. Well, disjointed or not, it's still a surviving moment for Tamu. All Texas A&M members have been able to get away from Fisher, and they'll keep their dreams alive. Sac State Esports, another team that is oh so close, but is still outside of the top 10 right now. Bofer with the knock on to Schmalz, and this is Minnesota getting caught out here. Another knock on to Meadsy, and it's left up to Speed Demon. So close to delivering dubs that game into the top 5, and maybe into the meat grinder of 18 squads remaining. One last burn, all that they need. A snipe will go wide, and Iowa State will prevent Minnesota from going down here. Meadsy, the rest of Min, the Newcastle reset is all that matters. They are back into it, but Temple Cherry, Iowa, could always send themselves back on them. Southern Mississippi, you guys talked about how they're getting aggressive. Well, hey, here they are. We're 5 minutes behind. Tamu will be wiped out by Cumberland. There's the Ashport play from Dallas. Zach W. Keys steals the exchange. And Western Outlaws, the man doesn't even get to participate. He doesn't even get to extend a shot. All right. Southern Mississippi. This isn't real. What am I watching? Like, this isn't a real fight. What are we doing? Gladworthy, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Huge dubs from you there. And sadly for our Purdue fans, I would say I was upset, but it didn't even look like they were playing. Well, USM, there's a ton of teams that need to play PSQs, and it's just a sacrifice of the lobby quality. So, hey, either way, it's going to come down to how good you can be. Kennesaw State Black, though, not stereotypically a team that likes to get aggro here. And with a Sheila from the other side, I love Limbox. He is a blessing to our scene. But he will be the first member eligible for match point wiped out. Another car and the rest of Cumberland are looking just as quickly to get these wipes where they find them. One remaining member of Sac State. I don't even know if it's Beaufort. Ferris State Crimson will be wiped out here. Waquaz and Beaufort have survived to that low ground. And you got Cumberland, thankfully, driving away. Little do they know. Okay, never mind. They're coming back. Damn. That's Beaufort. Well, okay. Sac State are down to one remaining here. Cumberland will finish that out. Guys, I think because of PSQs, we have completely obliterated any sense of competitive integrity between these teams. It's time to send to end. 12 squads remaining, and 5 of them are currently match point eligible. Korkenheiser, I like your name. It reminds me of the Kraken combined with Hohenheim from FMAB. Still, thank you for the sub. Fisher Esports, they've decided to pick their next target here, and I cannot imagine they will survive. Triple blues on double purples. It's an ego challenge, and it is ISU. I love ISU. They're one of my favorite teams. I love Group T and the boys, but you are simply outclassed when it comes to comparing. Now, that is a beautiful balloon play, but you are doing it in the face of a team that knows how to aim. That's it. Not Koryu's wiped out. Kamal's picked off. And that is once again another non-match point eligible team wiped out. University of Calgary, though, shows up just as quickly here. They've got their own car to drive. No reset, but instead, Dom2Crack picked off here. Their aggression will come back to bite them. A Catalyst Wall will try to give them their safety from the other side. They're going to have to run all the way around here, but an Arc Snare will hopefully keep them from going down. It is a split of Fisher. But Golden and Slothulas, even as a duo, are a threat here. Nice Arc Snare won't be enough, and it's up to Golden to take the cart, drive this one away, and play for a late game reset. I mean, it's so early, and the Edges zone is so prosperous. Estates should be just fine. Southern Mississippi. Okay, the only 2 match point eligible teams that are in zone right now are Minnesota and Bellevue. Now, granted, it is 11 squads remaining. If everyone tends to slow this out here for the finish, I would not be surprised to see everybody at least make it into zone, even Fisher, who is just getting that revive. Now, I'm kind of surprised. University of Southern Mississippi, we're pretty much... USM, I think we're 4 minutes away from them dropping out. We'll see how it finishes. They might sacrifice game 1 of PSQs, which I would hope they do not. I mean, they really deserve to go to Pro League, and I hope they wouldn't stunt their potential quarterfinals performance with Octane. Please don't. Well, 11 squads out. Calgary's on their own push. Resets for the likes of Sac State were good, but they never quite found complete recovery in the gravity engine. We're down still to 5 remaining match point teams, and half of them make up this lobby. USM just confirmed they're staying. I pray, I genuinely pray they make it to semifinals. Remember, there's only a 12% chance if USM get bottomed out of quarters. That jumps up exponentially as they go through each of their positions. If they make finals, it is basically guaranteed. It is almost 100% that they make Pro League. It's 99.94. Okay? They have 10 minutes just now to get to PSQ. They'll be fine. They got to win this. Well, this could be the last big game of the day. So, we'll see if anybody can come out on top of the win. Couple of big shots here. Temple Cherry already down to 2. Sykin unable to really stuff it there. Temple Cherry down to 9. And I think we're going to see an end. Bellevue, Minnesota, Cumberland all up above. Southern Mississippi on the outside. Everybody else who is eligible is in the Grow Towers. University of Calgary is the only team that isn't eligible that is still currently playing their way in. University of Southern Mississippi, a quick rotate out towards the edge. They've got to be so careful here. Bellevue University's right up against them. This landing could come back to bite them. Ooh, Bellevue, if they had gotten a bigger beam on that drop, would have very easily wiped them out there. I like the pylon Watson reset, but granted, now you've got the Thorn of Bellevue always lying out above, trying to wipe you. RIT Orange, I don't even know how this happened, but apparently they lost out on one. Slothula's in the feed for Fisher. They're going to take a knock here. And the University of Calgary, they've already found 2. Fisher Esports, they lost to Calgary to begin with, and they will lose the opportunity to deliver a dub. Calgary, they've got their walk in, but with so much space towards that southern side, they at least pack away another one of our match point eligible teams. Now, between Grow Towers and this finish, it is very likely that we will see a complete pull towards that western side of zone. And for teams like Southern Mississippi and Bellevue, you're going to have to cross through some perilous territory to get yourself to a dub. Honestly, I kind of like Calgary right now. Cumberland and Minnesota, I know that looks stacked, but I am pretty sure... Yeah, Minnesota is down below. Cumberland is still playing the height. Well, Cumberland University, this transition over to the side is I'm actually wrong. We're popping over towards the eastern finish of Grow Towers. You're going to get a lot of survivability to the end. That changes things up here. Teams like Calgary now are actually the furthest away from zone. Calgary Dark Horse for sure. I told you yesterday, I said it's going to be a USM dub, a Fisher second place finish, with a Calgary Dark Horse. And if it wasn't USM winning, it was going to be Cumberland. That was my prediction yesterday. We'll see how it goes. Right now, almost every single one of our match point eligible teams are currently in a good spot. Well, a scan from Bellevue, and they're going to just have to defend the high ground here. I think the biggest transition, my apologies, this is the biggest one we got to watch out for. Cumberland is losing their height, right? UCSD, yeah, they got to move from one Grow Tower to the next, but Calgary's already in. RIT's probably going to die. Cumberland has to give up the high ground outside of Gardens, and their transition, well, it's not as clear as pudding here. RIT Orange stuck as a duo with Calgary on the other end. I don't think Southern Mississippi's looking to really get aggressive here. So if Calgary find themselves blasted, Jack and Parsnips, I mean, if they can break down those doors, I don't think Rochester will survive this. Calgary is very slowly assuming this position. And there you go. Cumberland, I think Cumberland needed an evac play here. If Cumberland does not evac over this wall, or if they don't have a transition like an evac over the wall, I just don't have a lot of love. Maybe they got a Trident. That's the only other thing I can think of for getting Cumberland into the zone. Okay, that might be a Trident. All right, Trident has arrived. Cumberland versus Minnesota. Eligibility versus eligibility here. A blast behind the back for only 43 as the Gibby Dome gives them their safety. Now, the wall's pointing the completely wrong way for Minnesota, and they understand that. Those nades were their first and only opportunity to get these knocks onto Cumberland, so there's no chance they're going to be peeking the other side here. 8 squads remaining, and 8 squads will survive. Even UCSD from their other Grow Tower is part of the picture. UCSD, even still though, from the outskirts, the minute they peek over towards the edge of the fence line, you've got none other than Calgary finding a couple of knocks, and yes, a full send finish. Battery will be cracked with the burnt nade, and there's the Ash portal play. A nice beam onto the back of the Jukesy, but you are shot from all angles. Dallas will get picked off here. A dive onto Viz, and with one remaining member of Southern Mississippi, I don't know if they can fight their way into the Watson fence line. They will try. There is the pylon. A revive for their lives. Vod, Muffins, and Juxi, though, with another wrap around the bend. One final member here, and for USM, as good as their start was, their failure is worse. Cumberland University just as quickly wrapping from the other side of wall, and I can't imagine, Minnesota are going to survive. Bellevue's peeking the other end, and I'm pretty sure we are down to just Bellevue and Cumberland here as your last match point eligible teams. University of Calgary, I'm a little bit more favorable of this position right now. UCF Knights, RIT Orange, I mean, that's tough. Cumberland University, they're going to try for the rotate into the Grow Tower here. If they can survive against the UCF Knights, this is the position that would hopefully win them the game. It was a great rotate, and if that is what delivers the dub, that's going to be the highlight moment here. For Bellevue University, problem is they didn't do the same. They had to fight into Calgary or do something of the like, and now everybody's going to be focusing you as you walk away from the open. Calgary's already waiting with open arms to catch you out here. There they are, a catalyst wall, and they have to take the fight split here against Calgary. Even the cat wall, though, is not perfect. UCF Knights from up above are happy to take pot shots on you. I can't believe Bellevue are still in it. Voddery, he might full commit to the edge of the Grow Tower here, but from the inside of RIT, this building could be their benefactor. Jack and Parsnips, a duo on the interior. There's the Newcastle reset. There's the Thermite. Big Burns, and Calgary could always third party. A shield break on the Catalyst as Calgary does begin to step up here. A break of the Newcastle wall, and they are albeit successful, but not enough to get their wipes. Bellevue's healing this one out, and that was a huge chunk of utility to try and keep them alive. And the Catalyst wall's back up here. I know it's a quadra pump, and that will be enough to get them scanned out, but there's no confidence in the peak when you have Calgary constantly on your side here. My man is dumping the entirety of that triple take to get rid of the mobile shield because he knows Calgary, they're going to pressure just as much here with their own peak. Nice burn around the back. That's enough to push Calgary away for at least a couple of seconds. And we've got the final round close. I'll tell you what, UCF Knights and Cumberland, they're looking a lot more confident in their position here. Bellevue, they finally get the opportunity to get a good burn, but that's another reset of the cat wall with no final finish. Juxi will fall from FPSA there. Calgary has moved in here, and while, yes, they do have the Newcastle, it's your Newcastle that just died. Two members on the other side, going to be playing for the latest revive of light. I can't believe the Grow Tower is in for so long here. University of Calgary, center of zone, will try as they might. Bellevue, again, another revive here. And this time around, they finally get to walk in. One last pump. Yes, Juxi will be knocked, but they have the time to reset. 4 squads remaining. Calgary, UCF Knights, Cumberland, and Bellevue. Cumberland and Bellevue would end it here. UCF Knights and Calgary would finish for all. UCF Knights, there's their final resting place up above. A Gibby bubble has come down with a defensive bombardment from Slasher. The timing is good, but it doesn't find the purchase it needs. UCF Knights, the minute they fall is the minute that they will die. They will be eliminated. Bellevue from up on high. A choke against Cumberland, and they have to be so careful with Calgary on the other side. Could this be another Cumberland dub? Could this be Bellevue's proof on the pudding? Or could we go to another game? Sparrow's ultimates, the edge of the Catalyst wall. Calgary has a cut, and Bellevue are playing small. Juxi will be knocked by Aver. The corner's surviving. Cumberland are healthy. Cumberland are the healthiest. A rampart wall. Double knocks against Calgary. And Cumberland are your stage 2 champions. IGL extraordinaire Slasher, legend in the paint, future streams, and support god Sykin have come through for not just their first win of spring, but for their second. Congratulations to the Phoenixes on their stage 2 dub. I said it. If it wasn't USM, Slasher's not IGL? That's surprising. All right. With how much he yaps, I thought he was IGL. Who won first stage? Ottawa. That being said, here's your final scoreboard, and the only thing that matters. Cumberland University, 90 points and the dub. Bellevue in second place. There's Southern Mississippi. Fisher, and yes, Minnesota to round out your top 5. That's your prizing. Cumberland walks away with about $1,000 worth of prizing. Half of that scuff gear, half of that money. Of course, the rest diminishing money as we go down. Cumberland, Bellevue, Southern Miss, Fisher, Minnesota. Kennesaw Black, sadly, they are going to miss out on the prize exchange here. The rest, Calgary, Western, UCF Knights, Purdue, Iowa State Farmers, UCSD Gold, TAMU, SCC, Sac State, RIT, Ottawa, Temple Cherry, Ferris State Crimson, and UT Tyler. We're going to do 2 last giveaways, exclamation point giveaway in chat. It was a double 27-point finish for the last game of the day between Calgary and Cumberland. That means I'm a man of my word. I need an exclamation point giveaway in chat here. Last 2 giveaways of the day. Congratulations to Cumberland, arguably one of the most hated rosters in all of Collegiate, but they sure as hell win whether you like it or not. Actually, I think Fisher takes that cake, but you know, drama's drama. All right, come on. Last giveaways. While I still have you here and while I have you guys at least trying to take a giveaway, consider following, consider subscribing, and consider just supporting anything you can. Zephyr Cast, whether it be here on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, or any social, you can find me at Zephyr Cast. We still have a little bit of Collegiate to go and plenty of weeks ahead of prime competition. Shout out to Cumberland. It was a well-deserved dub. All right. Let's pull this one back here. My 2 winners of the day, last 2 on the giveaway. We've got Tall Girl Jen, 30 seconds. I need a message from Tall. Tall Girl Jen, 20 seconds. If you're not here, I've got to re-roll. Ten seconds. All right. I'm sorry. You got to either be here and active or you ain't. Lactose and nachos. I need a message. 30 seconds. Lactose and nachos. This is the smallest giveaway I've ever seen. There he is. Lactose. Feel free to send me a message on Twitch or on Discord, ZephyrCast. You can get in contact with me on Twitter as well. We'll pay you out here after the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And we got one more here. All right, one more. Choose a winner. Oh, hell yeah. Congratulations to the law. Uber Eats Loot, my man from University of Houston. And probably the coolest guy in Collegiate. Law, you have to message. Where's Uber? Uber! If Uber's not here, I gotta give it to somebody else. Can you believe it? That's like one of my favorite people in all of Collegiate. Dang. All right. Well, sorry, Uber. I love you. You already got enough prizing, though, from me. Here we go. Reroll. Gig 'em! It's Fiddle Dude. Is Fiddle Dude even here? I'm gonna be really mad if Fiddle Dude left stream before the giveaway. What a chud. Can you believe that? All right, 7 seconds. I've got a timer. It re-rolls it on the timer. Dang. All right. Crap. 2 Texas A&Ms in a row. Congratulations to Grap. Uber, you had to be here. You were either here or you're not. For all of my giveaway winners, please, 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 send me a message. All right, send me a message either on Twitch or send me a message on Discord, Twitter. Track me down. Of course, I will be going back through the VOD and making sure you guys all get paid out here. I'm going to take a little bit of a break after the stream, but we should get settled. It ain't rigged. It ain't rigged. Okay? I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. It has been an incredible semester of Octane. We still have last chance qualifiers coming up here very soon. And of course, we've still got the LAN. We've got Cincinnati, Ohio, where these teams convene in person for a real competition. Raid Zacrathalis? I will. Just give me a second. Of course, thank you to everybody on all platforms. No one from USM streaming? Well, let's see. Who wins game 8? The answer was Cumberland. Zach's offline right now. Zach? Oh, guys, I need 10-minute delay. Guys, I don't want to sit here for 10 minutes. That's like, by the time I raid somebody, he's not here. Raid Mandy. I don't want to raid Mandy. He'll be back in like 3 minutes or something. I mean, I want to raid Zach. I want to support PSQs, but we ain't got nothing to do. Eat? I can eat some more cat food if you want, but I mean, what are we talking about? Thanks for giving it to Grap in my absence. The Texas A&M only giveaway list was a great idea. He's not streaming game 1? No. You should show us the finals teams that qualified the LAN. That's an OY question. I know we don't have that. All right, someone pick someone else for me to raid. I'm not waiting around for long. If you wait too long, I'm just going to raid Shiv because he's my friend. The rich get richer. Stream starting in 2 minutes. Crispy Bacon. Crispy Bacon's not a bad raid. I looked over his shoulder. Reticent, whose shoulder are you looking over? What? Zach? Crispy? Could be the bacon. Could be the bacon. We do like crispy bacon. Zach? I really want to raid Zach W. Keys. Ren, how much time? How much time on that delay? There you guys go. Entertainment. Jingle, jingle, jingle. While we wait. There we go. Rubik's Cube. I know it's 10 minutes, so maybe 3-4 minutes. He can have like 60 viewers. It's either that or crispy bacon. If someone makes a good crispy bacon argument, I'll raid crispy immediately. Oh, by the way, for my subs that have subbed for 3 months straight, be on the lookout for a message in my server about the postcard. It'll be very soon. Baker only has one. I wish I could divvy up viewers. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could sit here and be like, half my viewers to Bacon, half my viewers to Zach, because I love them both. You know? Just watch party PSQs? No, I'm done. Zephyr, now that the official stream is off, will you go shirtless before the raid? No. You gotta show up for the Zephyr hot tub stream. We still gotta do that. Just leave and stay live on Chris Biz. Can't a man age regress after getting Dade 1? What? You guys are some freaks. Pesky, thanks for the super GG and the roses. I'm sorry, my man. I've been so locked in. I apologize about no mixed chat today. Cloudflare was down. Any Zephyr tournaments I can join, I'm washed. Zach's live? All right. We'll have more tournaments Join the Discord if you want to be a part of some of those community tournaments because they are so important. Host madness to show your superiority. I'm not superior to anybody. You guys got to remember, I have 20 viewer days just as much as I have 130 viewer days, just as much as anything else. For all my viewers, Jacob Smith, thank you for the follow. Thank you for everybody on every single platform today. I'm going to kick off this raid. Zach W. Keys, you just saw him play. USM, they are currently the second highest in overall points for the PSQs. If they make it to Pro League, which realistically, all they got to do is make it to finals today, they will be the first ever collegiate roster, full collegiate roster in Pro League. It's history in the making. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. All right. Enjoy the stream. And of course, I'll see you guys later.